All right, guys. I know you can hear me, but I'm not. Put a one in the chat if you can hear me, actually, because I'm not sure what just happened. Let me try to add our pain. There we go. There we go. Good evening. Good evening. It's,
Evening.
it's still off here, but we're gonna roll with it. We're gonna roll with it. Something is off here.
How
Let
you
me.
doing?
I'm well, thank you. We're back. We are
I
back.
see. I see.
We are back. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much. Thank you guys so much for joining. Okay, so you guys can hear me. Good, 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 good. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We was live last night. We're back tonight. I'm bringing back the men's panel. The men's panel. I had to take a break. I had to take a break. I know a lot of y'all know y'all do this social media thing. Y'all be on a roll. But sometimes I need a break. I need a break. And so I took a break. We're back. And I know it's probably going to take a while for people to adjust, to us being back. But I did want to bring the panel back because I believe that the conversations are good conversations to have. We like to be, a little bit forward moving on, not too much drama, but entertaining, but insightful, all that good stuff. So I bring it back and, we're going to call it the Men's Forum where the men give their perspective. I'm the only woman on the chat, but that does not have to be the case. Anyone can join the panel as long as you're respectful. You can definitely join the panel. You don't necessarily have to show your face, but I will ask to see your face in the back chat if I don't recognize your channel. But Arpay, how have you been? How has the YouTube streets been treating you since I've been here?
Well, I've been here. I've been around doing my thing. My marriage, politics, and sports channel got monetized.
Yay!
Yeah, for whatever it's worth. I got to figure out how to make money on it. You know,
I mean, if you want to be spending all that time here, you definitely should.
it's like I didn't start out worrying about that. I mean, those channels existed. I just never thought you could even do anything. So I
Mhm.
just named it that. And, so I do more political stuff on there, even though it's marriage and politics and sports. So I split out two other channels as well, one for music and one for sports. But I simulcast a lot. So. But the
Okay.
political stuff is big, man. I get a lot of views with that.
Well, that's good because a lot is going on in our country right
Um,
now that,
mhm,
there's enough to keep people in the conversation, engaged. There's a
mhm,
lot of opinions around, who's running this country and the certain things that's going on, these wars that are going on,
exactly.
ICE. I mean, there's so much in that realm
Exactly.
of things to cover. So you definitely,
Hmm.
hit a good spot there with that.
Yeah.
Uh,
So and looking at the chat is funny because you get all kinds of people in the chat. Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm sure you broaden your
Mm.
audience as well doing that.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure you
Yeah.
see a lot of people unfamiliar, channels or names where you're like, oh, okay, people are watching, which is a good thing, which is a
Yeah.
good thing. So
Yeah.
definitely go and subscribe and follow. So what are because you said you have three channels now? You have one for
Yeah.
sport?
I have one called theme-based music. I fool around with AI. And the
Yeah.
thing about that is that, it's funny. Some of the lyrics I manipulate, but a lot of times I just have an idea in my head and I
Hmm.
can put it into the AI generator and it just generates a song.
Okay.
Period. If I have like a theme, like I had this one where what's his name? Paul Pierce got this lady pregnant. She said she's pregnant, and then I just thought, I said, well, okay, excuse my pregnancy, but this baby is yours. I put that in there, and
Hmm.
it was, and I wrote a song. It was pretty damn good. It's pretty. I said, damn, it's pretty damn good. So I thought the title was catchy, but the generator just generated a whole song, and the catchphrase is "Excuse my pregnancy, but this baby is yours," and
Wow.
it's a black lady talking to a black guy.
AI man. I was just
AI is crazy.
talking about
It's
it last
crazy.
night on live with Leon. I think he's in the chat. How technology, you really have to go with it because
Yeah.
it is gonna outpass us all. And so the
Mhm.
things that technology or the advances that we have experienced with technology, I don't even think we've even scratched the surface.
No, not at all. And some people, that's where the new billionaires are going to come from. People
Hmm.
know how to manipulate that. So, and then on the political one, I just do reaction videos to the White House press briefings, Trump,
Okay.
whoever else is talking. Not just, of course, you interject your whether you agree or disagree, and just people just start coming to the chat.
Right.
I got one of my I got 386,000 views on one of them.
Oh my goodness. For what? A political
Yeah.
post?
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely a hot spot. So definitely, whenever you're comfortable, definitely put the channels in the chat so people can subscribe. But I don't even know what the all the other channels are. So I'll subscribe as well, just so I can pop in from time to time, see what you're talking about.
Yeah, of course. I still do the Black Man Unfiltered thing on Mondays.
Okay.
Yeah, on Mondays. Baby boomer talk. And some of it's political, but I go through a lot of different things too.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm going to spend my retirement fooling around with YouTube. So, I do that, and I have other things I'm doing. So,
okay, well, whatever makes you happy and fills your time,
Yeah. So me and the wife are empty nesters now. My youngest daughter moved out.
She did
This weekend.
Wow, that's
I'm sad as hell, man. I'm sad as hell.
Oh,
yeah, I'm sad. I told her, I said, shit, I'm sad. I'm not happy about this.
Well, it's good that you told her that.
Yeah, I mean, she's 26. Yeah, she's 26, and she's been working for God ever since she got out of college.
Mm-hmm.
So she could afford what she has. She got a little nest. We've been doing some investing and stuff, but she's time to move out. That's man. Like,
Did she move far?
No.
Okay.
No,
well, it's good. Like she said.
Yeah, she moved out on Saturday, and I went over to her new place. It's nice. The apartment.
Mm-hmm.
She can afford the rent, of course, and all that.
Okay.
So
it's time for her to experience her, womanness in her own sphere. Every woman needs
to move out with a guy, man, but still. Marriage and stuff, but it's not how it's happening these days.
Right. And we're gonna get into that, because if that's not how it's happening, honestly, you have to let things happen.
Oh yeah, it's not up to me. At that one, it's not up to me at all.
But it's in some ways it's up to her, in some ways it's not, because men do the choosing, right?
I'm just saying where I fit it. I mean, I might want these things, but I can't.
Of course, a father wants his daughter to be taken from one protection to another, right? That's the ideal situation.
Yes.
But when the ideal situation doesn't happen, we have to learn how to adjust, and we have to still, be supportive, be there. You're still a parent, you still have instilled things inside of her. But 26, a lot of daughters don't get that opportunity to still be able to do that,
and I think that's unfortunate,
right? Certain life circumstances put you in certain situations and accordingly. So
we went out to I guess lunch or whatever, our restaurant the next day. She said, what's that? Let's go out, blah blah blah. I said, is this a date? She said, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
I remember the days when we used to have these lives, and I'm like, fathers, go out with your daughters.
Yeah, but I still paid though.
Well, why would you expect?
No, it's so funny though. I give her credit. She did the fake reach.
Yeah, the reach.
She reached. She reached. I said,
let me lead a tip. Like, I can help.
No.
Where you want me to help at? I can help you now.
Well, I said, get out of here. I just started laughing. I said, at least you did the reach. At least she kind of reached for the wallet and shit. She just she did it nice and slow.
You ain't a man. She dating you, dad. Okay, you are father, dad, daddy, whatever she call you. That's who you are, and that's what you've been.
So, we had a good time though. It's cool.
Yeah,
it's good talking to them when they get
who you want. So now you're just going to cook for you and your wife now, because you used to do the
we're empty nesters, man. Me and the wife. Yeah.
Yeah, the empty nesting. That's going to be a new.
Yeah, I mean, lucky for me, she still likes me. That's the point, man. I guess now that's where it usually comes out. Like,
okay. that's about to be my whole point
Yeah.
in this thing I'm gonna read from this educated Black woman, and this dissertation that she done put out on the internet that we're gonna go over.
Okay.
All right, but I do want to show some love to the folks that are watching. Terica Smith, thank you so much for being here. Even everyone, please hit the like button as you come in. Please share, show some support through Cash App. Definitely show some support if your heart feels led to worldwide collaborations. Thank you so much for being here, love. Fish in the Fit. Good evening, everyone. Good evening to you as well. Leon, I see you are in the chat. Hola, hola, hola. All right. All right, let me see. Yes, definitely hit that like button. Hit that like button. Good to see you here, Minalik. This topic has a lot to talk about. Since dating has been a difficult trend without end. Yeah, and I took a break. Like I took a break from social media, and I've been on YouTube. What are we? 2026. I've been on YouTube probably since 2020. 3 or 2024, I don't know. But are the conversations going to be the same? We'll see. Like, does everyone still have the same mindset? We'll see. We'll get into it. Average Man, thank you so much for being here. Good evening, everyone. Good evening to you as well. Thank you. The fake reach. The fake reach is it's one of those things, like it's part of it's just like a common thing that a woman has to understand.
Yeah.
You should do and not even a fake reach. Like I personally, would you like me to leave the tip? Are you covering, like, I'm still going to offer something. I'm going to offer something. So the fake reach is infamous. Okay. MIA. I've been MIA. I've definitely been MIA, but I'm back now. I thought I was going to forget how to do some of this stuff with YouTube. And as you can see, the beginning was a little sketchy. I don't know why though, because I had everything set, but sometimes we have plans and they don't go according to plans. So we just get through it. All righty. And like I said, we're probably going to have, some adjustments with me being back. People have made other plans or on other shows, and I respect that. If we have to come to an agreement where maybe we, meet on a different night, or we just go with the flow. Of course, like I said, you guys can join the show. I'll drop the link a little bit, in the beginning and pin it so you guys can join the show and give your thoughts and opinions as well. Definitely engage in the chat, hit the like, share, and subscribe button, and definitely hit the notification button, the bell button, so you know when we're going live. Most people do follow me on other social media platforms, but if you're new here, then you would want to hit that bell so you know when I go live on YouTube if you don't follow me on Instagram or TikTok and all the other stuff. All right. So I was going to start the state of dating reading that. I was going to start that first, but I think I'm just going to jump right into the Dwight Howard and his wife right now. Did the format just change for you? Did you just see that?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
I don't know what is happening. Like,
that's that the new thing. I connected it. I don't know why I did this to you. I'm sorry, but
it's okay. Oh, you connected. Okay. Just so I know, I just want to be aware. That's all. I just want to like.
Yeah, I didn't know why they would do that, but
it's okay. But now we know.
You could, if you look at your thing, there's a little box with an X in it on the side for the vertical. You could turn that off, and it'll just be your screen. I think you could do that. Do you see it?
I don't necessarily see it right now, what you're talking about, but I mean, as long as everyone can see it, fine.
People,
I'm okay with that. Okay. But I wanted to discuss the Dwight Howard and his current wife, I guess soon to be ex-wife, situation right now, because then we'll talk about the state of dating in 2026, because Amy Luciano is her name.
Okay.
She is married to Dwight Howard after Royce Reed. Royce Reed was actually on, I believe, Basketball Wives. She was on the pilot of the show, which was the very, first show of the franchise, The Basketball Wives.
Okay.
So she talks about, not really getting paid a lot on that show, but her storyline became, the wife of Dwight Howard. And she spoke about a lot of abuse, whether it was sexual abuse, verbal abuse, physical abuse that she endured while she was with Dwight Howard. And she kind of came out on social media, pretty much warning this woman, hey, I've been through X, Y, and Z. We have children together. The children have seen, the abuse. They have, visually seen it and been in the same rooms as it. And so Royce Reed and Dwight Howard get a divorce, and now Amy Luciano is married to Dwight Howard. And I'm going to play this video that she posted, I guess 6 months ago now, when she was on the verge of divorcing Dwight Howard 6 months into their marriage. And this is what she had to say at that time. And it was almost like a come to Jesus moment for her. And she spoke about it online.
On my life, and I almost divorced his in 6 months, being real stupid and silly. Actually, we both filed for divorce. Let's talk about the struggles of being a new young wife. First thing I can tell you, as a new wife, I know this is going to be a hard practice, but shut your mouth. Shut up. Now, I know some of y'all going to say, oh, you got to shut up because you married? What, is he silencing you? No, sis, I'm not saying shut up. I'm saying pick your battles, and sometimes pick them quietly. Understand, when you became one with your husband, that means you became one. Y'all are one. You have to literally die to your old self. You don't want to do that yet. What does die to my old self mean? Because I'm very much still alive. Simply means adjustments. You got to make a lot of adjustments. Again, heavy on your one now. Know your spicy attitude isn't passion. It's a nasty attitude. That has to die for your husband. Confrontational spirits hidden by passion. You're not passionate, sis. You just got an attitude problem. Lose it. Quick gem. Successful top tier men, they just want peace. They don't want anything else. You can't do anything else for them besides bring them peace. Mistake I made, me and my husband going through issues, telling my friends about it. Don't do it. Dying to yourself is hard, okay? You spent your whole life talking, probably talking too much, getting the last word, being overly opinionated, being emotionally unstable. Some people settle for that, but this person married you, they're not going for it.
All right. So I'm not even going to play the rest of the video because it's just, about 5 minutes long of her pretty much saying, when you're married, you're going to have to go through certain sacrifices, and you can't always be vocal about how you feel when things aren't going your way. The talk that we hear a lot on social media from certain people. I'm one of those women that's like, okay, you gotta learn when to shut up, you gotta be emotionally regulated, just learning that just going through life and therapy and being raised a certain way. However, now she's in a situation where she is seeming like regretting not going through the divorce. But before I play that video, are you familiar with this?
Yeah, a little bit. I saw the most recent video. But even I didn't see this one you just showed. But listen, I think even what she was saying on this video was too much. One of the things that I would, I'm old fashioned, but I don't think I have to be old fashioned for this. If I was in a modern era, I wouldn't date a woman bringing anything in our relationship to the internet.
Right.
The very first time you do that, we're done. I just think about me and my wife. I can speak for me more than I can speak for her, but I think she's the same. We don't share our intimate stuff with anybody, family or anything. It's just us.
Right.
And getting on the internet talking about whatever you think and feel and this and that. There's context clues people can get from what you're saying, even if you think you're being,
right,
nebulous. You know what I'm saying? So, So I mean, so that part of it, I mean, I'm not going to trash it for that because it's supposed to be the modern era. But I'm thinking more about him as a man. That would be one of my no-nos. If
Mm.
you got to talk about our relationship online, we can't really have a relationship other than friends with benefits, and maybe not even that.
Mm. So, I mean, I think it's a little different because you're the common man who doesn't have the and I'm not saying what you're saying is
No,
wrong.
I get what you're saying. Go ahead.
Feel bad about how you feel, because if that's how you run your program, that's how you run your program. And I know that most men probably would feel that way, but when you have Dwight Howard, who is a public figure football player who have dated a woman who's been
basketball,
on
right?
TV, what did I say? Football? Sorry, basketball player.
Yeah.
Who's been on TV. His ex-wife was on TV on a reality TV show. Dwight Howard has done reality TV shows and different where they do the almost like a Survivor. He's done a couple of different shows as well. So there is so they have put themselves.
I agree with that. I mean, yeah, from that standpoint, I agree with you. He's not the kind of guy who would say what I just said.
Right. He's not. However, he has come out with some videos that's, he's pretty much divorcing her, and nothing that she's saying is true. But I can see why he did that too, based off of this
second video. Right.
Yeah.
But man, did you see what he did to Royce? I mean, she looks like a shell of herself as a woman, though, man. His first wife. My God.
Yeah, as a woman though, I think that a lot of times, and we'll talk about it when we get to this. Me reading this dissertation from this educated Black woman about the Black men in 2026. But what women don't tell you in these paragraphs and these long books and all of this is that you accepted or you chose certain things, and you thought in your mind that things would change and it would get better, and you continue to choose this day after day after day after day, knowing how you truly feel on the inside. But then you say, oh, well, my experience of dating a Black man has just been the worst ever, and I think I'm gonna go outside my race now. And and the accountability is not in these excerpts that we see online. It's just through my experience. We'll get there, but yeah.
I hear you.
Definitely hit the like button. Thank you guys so much for being here. When it comes to a divorce in a relationship, it usually because of money or infidelity. Well, it looks like it was, a little bit of substance abuse in this situation too, and substance abuse or gambling, or like you said, the money. That is, I would imagine that's a huge reason to,
Well, there's other reasons too, right? I mean, I don't know if we're going to talk about that tonight, but isn't Dwight Howard gay? There's more than a few scandals with him, at least going the other way.
But that's what I'm saying. He's put himself in a situation where he is being talked about, and it doesn't seem like he necessarily cares. But at the same time, when it comes to this wife, he wants to be known to divorce first, and he wants to say he don't know what she's talking about, and none of that stuff belongs to him. And he's told Royce Reed that if you say anything, or if you accuse me of anything, I'll make your life a living hell, and nobody's going to believe you. And
but that's my point, though. My point really is this, though, Precious. Like you're saying, he's saying all these things. I think a man like him, let's just say it's true, the rumors, and I think it's more than rumors, there's some that he likes men too. I think because of that, his approach to having relationships with women is broken. And so that's why I'm not surprised how he's treating these chicks, especially if he likes men and he's using these women as a cover for his real passions. I can expect him to treat them the way he should treat them because he doesn't really like them. That's just my theory. And we could get to some more of that. I mean, because these women, I mean, even though they brought it on themselves somewhat, but they're beat up. I've seen some when Royce Reese first came out. She was a pretty little minx kind of thing. And then I saw this last video. Man, she looked ragged. She looked more ragged. I said, oh my God, what happened to you? And her frustration and all that other kind of stuff. And it'd be easy for me as a man to say, it's your fault, but nah, something happened to
her. Okay, so it's not necessarily, I'm not necessarily blaming a woman. However, I have seen women go through situations where they are in a relationship with this guy and then they break up and then they're like non-functional.
Yeah.
Like they can't work, they can't eat, they can't sleep, they can't produce, like they can't do anything because they in their hearts and in their minds feel as though they have given, to this man. They have been his ride or die. They have protected this man. They have not, made him feel less than, but they're going through these situations with these men. And it's like, if you don't want to be going through this situation and you're finally at the point where you're leaving, you're gone, that's it, easier said than done.
Right.
But don't give you don't come out, don't pop out looking, like now you on the drugs. Like,
that's serious. My God.
Like do things that are going to, make yourself happy. Like don't stay in that pity party or whatever you want to call it. Because at the end of the day, you got to keep it moving. If that wasn't your person, somebody else is. So why waste time, in the misery, because at the end of the day, the man is probably moving on, doing what he doing to the next woman, the same thing that he did to you. Let that be that woman's problem.
Well, one of the things, okay, so that is true, but I think it's harder to leave. Like, I don't know how much money Dwight has left, right? He's certainly not as rich as he used to be, right? And had that lavish life. But a lot of women will look at the situation, whatever, such as it is, the kind of life he could provide. How many bites of the apple do you really get? You leave him, the next guy, is he going to be able to provide you the things that you're used to? Now, women don't like to go backwards.
No, but not necessarily will the next guy provide you with what, Dwight Howard or whoever. Women have to love themselves. And I'm not saying that, that women shouldn't get married and women aren't for joining with the man and companionship and all of those things. But when you don't love yourself, it shows. It shows in the desperation. It shows when you don't love on yourself from within and on the outside. Like those things show. And so, I'm not going to tolerate abuse, sexually abusing these kids, like, because you got some money. Like, I'm not doing that either. There are a lot of women.
Well, you put yourself into their shoes, though. You're putting yourself into their shoes.
Right, but what I'm saying is, you said how many bites at the apple do you get? So, what's the alternative?
Well, what I'm saying is women, I can't say women. I can't say women, but there's a calculation, I believe, that a lot of women make. Right? There's a calculation of the guy you choose and the reason why you chose him, especially if he's a well-to-do guy who can give you the kind of lifestyle that you might not normally get as a regular woman. So that's why I think some of them stick it out more than they would if he was a bum. If he was the bus driver, they'd be going the day before.
Well, they be sticking it out with them too. They be sticking it out with them.
But, I mean, it's at a different level. It's at a different level. Their expectations are at that level. But when a woman's expectations have been realized at the highest level, I don't think it's, and I mean it when I say women don't like to go backwards. right? That's why as men, when we give presents or when we show women our appreciation, if you give her the star gala treatment on day one, she's going to expect that plus one the next day, the next time. You can't go backwards. With women, you can't go backwards. If I'm going to show you a opulent lifestyle, and next month or next year, that opulent lifestyle is gone. And the only reason why I say this, because athletes in particular, when they lose their NBA contracts or when they retire, their wives divorce them in droves. Take whatever little money is left, and they're gone, because now this guy's there, the money's not coming in, the lifestyle is not the way it used to be, and they're gone. And you can look at the statistics and show that, basketball wives leave their husbands, football wives leave their husbands in droves once the stars are gone.
Okay, so what do you think the reasoning is for the actual football to marry a woman? Is for the look?
Well, first of all, men and marriage we're stupid, right? I mean, we got a Dak Prescott situation where he's not marrying his woman because they say she refuses to sign a prenup, but I don't know if that's really true. Men are not women. We'll marry a woman if if I have a lot of money and you tickle my fancy, I pretty much don't care what your background is. Paul Pierce, not Paul, CP3, Paul. One of the other guys, Paul George, married a woman who was a stripper. Right? He got her pregnant and he married her. Right? They gave him some shit because he wanted her to have to get rid of the baby. He's going to give her $1 million. He took some heat for that, but these women have these things all the time. Then he ended up falling in love with her and married her. But, for the most part, they weren't equally yoked from the standpoint that she was dancing on a pole. Now, I'm not saying she's a bad woman. Turns out they're still married. They're still doing things. They got 2 kids now. So that worked out. But the point is, men don't really look at women. We don't carry that I married down bullshit like women with money. When women get money, they look at a man beneath them as marrying down. Men have no such standard. We have no such standard. And we make mistakes all the time. And all the time. So I mean, I'm just throwing that out there as the way men think. We don't measure women the way women measure men. And rightfully so.
Right. I was gonna say, I don't think that it should be that way, but I think where I was going with it was, if a man that is in the NBA, NFL, MLB, like whatever sports realm they're in, if they know that women are, they're falling in love with these women, but is it in their minds that she's here for the, like, isn't that a part of the thought process when they marry?
It should be part of the process. You mean for the men? It should be. But unfortunately, it's not enough. That's why some of these guys, man, and especially if they're dark skinned, I hear you. There's a little thing out there. Dark skinned men find these ambiguous looking women. They ain't black, they ain't white. They're somewhere in between with the flurry hair and shit like that. I don't care where she came from. She just looked good on my arm. Mm-hmm. And they marry some of these chicks with no prenup. No, nothing. This guy from the wide receiver for Miami, he was married to a chick for 2 years. She wants to take like $40 million from him. So all I'm just trying to say is men are stupid when it comes to these things. And I as a man, I just know. I mean, because I'm just telling, because I don't hesitate to tell men they're stupid. They don't even protect themselves. And, so listen, I don't know what else to tell you. Men are just idiots when it comes to love. And, and maybe that's the way it's supposed to be, but I don't know. But some men are starting to wake up. Hey, listen, I don't know whether you love me because you love me or my money. It could be a combination of both.
Right.
But if we're going to be together, you're going to sign this prenup. You're going to get a lawyer, and your lawyer is going to look at this prenup, and we're going to come to some agreement. Blah, blah, blah. But in the meantime, he's already given her a baby.
Yeah.
In the meantime, so I mean, men are idiots, man. I tell you what, man.
Yeah, I mean,
we're idiots in a lot of ways.
I think the I don't know why, how. You know, men sometimes they don't think with their right brains. But it's like, you know, if you're going to play a sport, you know, or not even play a sport, if you are a man, you know, with means, and you know that you acquired these means, you know, prior to this woman, and you guys are now going into stages of courting, and then dating, and then seriously dating, or and then relationships, that what I don't understand, and maybe because I was just never the spoiled woman, right? I don't understand why the prenup is an issue. Why is
you mean it's why it's an issue for women or an issue for men
yeah,
that have it?
why is it, and why isn't it done more often in those situations? Like, why is it an issue for the women? And why aren't men doing enough, like you said, to protect themselves, to see who is truly there? Because I mean, if there's a prenup in place, and you're saying, okay, if I'm with you and then, you know, we divorce, I can't take half of your, I mean,
I could answer that question on both ends.
go ahead.
It's only an issue for a woman when she has to sign it. But if she's the one with the millions, it's not an issue for her to tell a man, if you want to be with me, you got to sign one. Every woman with means, she find a guy, she's initiating the prenup. There's no doubt about it.
Right.
But guys, when he looks at a woman that he wants, the things that endear her to him, if the only thing standing in front of him having her for the way he wants to have her as a prenup, I'm throwing that shit out the window, because men are idiots. When it comes to women, men are idiots. And we've been that way since the beginning of time. And every so often we get a little bit of discernment and we do the right things. But for the most part, the history is littered with men being idiots over women. I mean, I don't have to make that shit up. We all know. We could go through 100 examples. You know, so it's part of our nature to want the woman we want. And the things that stand in front of us, a lot of times we ignore. We just do. And it's not right. I'm not even saying right or wrong. It's just an advantage that women have over men. And even if they don't want it, they just have it. And some women know how to exploit that, right? I mean, it's as simple as that. Men are idiots.
That's what it is. Exploitation.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. But it's just weird when a man doesn't see it as that.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I agree with everything you're saying.
Yeah, like I don't know, like certain things I just don't understand, because it like Lauryn Hill said, it could all be so simple. It really could be, but I you know, those things I just don't understand it.
Well, I mean, you know, what's there to really understand other than the nature of things? You know, I think it's the nature of things.
True.
You know?
It's just when it happens in huge, you know, numbers the way that it does, you would think that a man would say, you know what, this is what I'm going to come to the table with to protect myself.
Well, but the funny thing is, when it happens on a large scale the way it is, that strengthens the argument that it's the nature of things. If it was the exception,
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? That's one thing.
Agree.
Yeah.
But you know, can the nature of things change, or is this
yes. Yeah, and it does. Every so often, it does. A man will say, "Listen, you know what? I love you to death, but I'm willing to lose you if you're not going to sign this document, or we're not going to agree with it." And then I think, you know, secretly there's more women who do sign. We just don't hear those stories because it's not salacious, right? But the fact is that, you know, the ones that hit the news is like Dak Prescott just read recently, the Dallas Cowboy quarterback.
Yeah,
his fiance,
right?
They were supposed to get married next month. Now it's not confirmed, but they said that she didn't want to sign a prenup. But that's the easiest story. The other story was that he was a philanderer, and that she didn't want to have it. So it's either one of those two things, or they already have two children, and so why mess up the apple cart? They're already co-parenting with the two kids, right? So why even tie the knot if they're not going to be serious about the vows? I'm a marriage guy, right? But I'd rather people not get married if they don't believe in the vows, because they're messing up my statistics.
Yeah.
You know, if you can't live through the vows, don't get married. You already have 2 kids. Take care of your kids. Give her the money that she needs to raise the kids in whatever style she needs to raise it. You're going to have enough money for that. Why get married?
Yeah.
Why?
I agree with that.
If you're not going to really be serious about it.
Yeah. I
That's
see
where I'm at.
Andrell is in the chat. Hola, hola, hola.
Yeah,
Thank you
that's
so
where
much
I'm at,
for
yeah.
being here. Menalik says prenups for women can be a problem because women want the benefits of being married in a relationship. Women want security, stability, and alimony if the marriage ends in divorce. And you're right, women do want that, but at the end of the day, if you're vowing to be with someone, for life, and if that doesn't happen, now you want to take half his life that he's supposed to live after you take
But
care of you. Like, to me, like, that just doesn't
but here's the fallacy, though. The fallacy that the prenup takes away all of these things is just not true. The prenup says we have an agreement, right? That means there's a recognition that, you know what, if you were a stay-at-home mom for 10 years or whatever, there's got to be some kind of thing you got to go with so you can get on your feet. Or even if you weren't, but your salary was a lot less, you're used to a certain lifestyle. The prenuptial agreement is supposed to be our agreement that I'm not going to leave you with zero.
Right. And it should be, fair in circumstances like that.
Right.
I think that women just hear that
Prenup. Yeah.
like, whatever. It's like it's an agreement. Like,
and you get your own lawyer
all day, every day. And agreements ensure that the participation within the partnership is going to go well, and if it don't,
exactly
the agreement says that this happens and then this happens. That's all that is. But I just don't understand why there's such a stink around it, unless women are bums. Like, and I hate to say it like that, but unless like you really don't think that you're doing anything with your life at all whatsoever, you have no dream. Like, everything is inside of this man that that's your investment, right? I think that's how we see it. Like, okay, he's going to be my investment. This is going to be my past. This is going to be my way out. Not ever having a way to begin with. There's a lot of women who will continuously date men of a certain stature because they don't want to work, because they don't, they feel as though, why would I go out and put out any work when I could just be pretty, or I can just go out on a date, or I could just, do these things and he'll pay me for it. And then in the end, want to marry someone and get paid for it, and don't really put in the work that a lot of people do put in to really get those agreements in those prenups that are reasonable, that are fair, that are, that makes sense. Yeah. All right, let's get into this video with Amy, because at this point she has come to the internet down, busted, and disgusted. Like, she got the ugly cry, and she's being taken through there.
That was the first one, right?
So prideful and so private. It hurt me so bad to have to even protect myself in this type of way. But my marriage has landed me in a very dangerous position. My stepdaughter was just taken by CPS because of her father. CPS and the police have been here 3 times in less than 3 months, and I stood in it with my husband, even though I was scared for my own self. Whatever he wanted me to say, whatever it was, I'm thinking, this is my husband. I had everybody around me saying, even after I tried to divorce him the first time, everybody around me says, you can't leave your husband this soon.
I'm gonna stop it right there. What do you think about that? She has CPS involved in the home. She's covering up for her husband because she's in love with her husband. She has people around her saying, y'all only been married for 6 months, girl, stick it out. Like you ain't even really got your feet wet yet, right? But she has been through these experiences with him where it's just like, as a first time married woman, am I supposed to be his ride or die with these issues that he has going on, or what? Like, what do you, as a married man, what would you say to a woman who's in these shoes, hearing what she just said so far?
Well, let's assume that everything that's happening to her is true.
Mm-hmm.
There is nothing in the vows that says a woman needs to be battered to stay with a man.
Right.
If your guy is making you, if he's doing the things that she's saying he's doing, and she's in some kind of distress like that, there's nobody holding you accountable to your vows for a man like that. You know what I'm saying? It's not.
I mean, that's why I asked, because
so is she still there? Again, the thing is, I think she's doing. I don't know where this woman has come from. I don't know what kind of life she had before. All I know is that most likely she doesn't have the kind of life that this guy with this kind of money provides. So she's making a business decision based on, okay, if I leave this guy, I leave a lot of this stuff that I'm accustomed to. I'm just spitballing. And so it's making her stay a little longer than she should, because in a divorce, I don't know if she signed a prenup or whatever, but in a divorce, she's probably going to get something out of this guy, especially under these conditions. So I don't know why she's still there. And whatever friends are telling her to stick this kind of crap out, they ain't her friends.
Right. Okay. They're
not her friends.
I just wanted to make sure, we were on the same page with this, because, it's like, girl, if you're going through, if CPS is involved, and you're going, and that's her stepchild. So the child that CPS is involved with is her stepchild. Not saying that, she should love the child any less, but
her parents does care.
Right. She does care. But it could be one of those things too, where a woman will warn you about a man, but the next woman will be like, "Oh well, you ain't me." He ain't
that's true. That's true.
So maybe she had a little bit of those feelings where it's just like, all right, Royce, you went with what you went through with him, but I'm different. I'm my own person, so I'm not listening to any of that.
That's true. That's absolutely true. But I wonder before you start, I wonder how many signs he already exhibited before she married him.
Right, because she's saying that she had to, that again, I'm not blaming women. I'm not, but
go ahead.
There are the and women will say we have an intuition. We do, but
their intuition sucks. Their intuition.
A lot of us don't use it. It's even in times in my life, I didn't use it. Like I knew, I heard the voice. You shouldn't go. You shouldn't be here. Why are you here? You don't even want to go. What are you doing this for? Why? Like you ignore it. Like you ignore that voice. And like that's what I'm saying. Like women aren't honest when it comes to certain posts about the stage, the state of dating, because there are a lot of situations that women see certain signs and it's just like, oh, it's not that bad, or oh, I he had a bad day, or and it's just like, no, certain things, like if it's a character thing where it's just like, this drug abuse that we're about to see that she claims that he he struggles with, and that he needs help, that is not something that's just gonna go away, like no matter who he's with.
I think in that respect, both men and women ignore red flags, but it's not the same. Like men will ignore red flags that turn out to be emotionally damaging to them later on, not just financially. Women, when they ignore certain red flags, it could actually be physical danger,
Mm-hmm.
not just emotional. It could be physical danger because men and women aren't the same. So I just, the key is that you shouldn't ignore red flags.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Deal with them. Sometimes the person that you want the most is not the person for you.
Right. And dealing with them, even in a small capacity could lead to huge repercussions. Coach Ferg, how are you? How are you?
What's up, Miss Precious? What's up? What's up, Bob Payne? How you doing?
What's going
What
on,
up
man?
behind
Yeah.
you?
Hey, don't worry. Hey, ma'am, 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 ma'am. He too young for you. He's only 17 years old. This is a baby.
Hey, you're
Get off my baby. No, that's me.
Oh, you know what?
That's me. Just get off the baby. Get off the baby. Get off the baby. I'm going to send my sisters over to see you. Get off the baby. No, man, I like your hair. Your hair is fire. You done let it grow out. Now you're looking like you're going to get put off these streets real quick. Go ahead and keep showing all that.
I just got some braids in it. That's all. I'm giving my hair a rest, and I got some.
Okay.
I want to grow out my shortcut.
Yeah.
And I know so many people love my shortcut, and I love it too. But I just want to grow it out a little longer. So.
Now, salute to you, man. Come on. Yeah, that's what we need. Let it grow. Let it grow. You see, I would give you some of mine, but you can't handle it. You can't handle it. What's up, Bob Payne?
What's going on, man?
What's
Oh my goodness.
Man, so welcome back, lady. I saw you the other day. I was checking you out.
The adoptee foster.
Yeah, I was checking you out. I didn't want to go into that because I was like, boy, that's a good. I like those type of topics with the adoptions and foster care and guardianships. I've spent years in that field, and I used to have to pat you on the back, like, "Come on, baby, it's all right."
Yeah, it's a lot. It get deep. It get deep.
Yeah, it's a lit.
Yeah, I definitely want to continue to spread awareness on that because it's just an underserved community that you really don't see a lot of lives like this about adoption and foster care, right? So,
do your thing. That's right.
Don't mind having those conversations. But welcome. Thanks so much for joining. We're just talking about Dwight Howard and his current wife.
Was she on the TV show, Precious? Was she on the Love and Hip Hop?
She was on one of the franchises as well. I don't know if it was Love and Hip Hop or any of the basketball, or I don't know. I stopped watching Ratchet TV.
It's on now. I saw a couple of like last year's shows. I don't know if she's still on the show, but yeah, she was wild anyway.
Yeah, see, I don't know what her demeanor was or what. I know she was on reality TV. I just can't really speak to what I've seen about her. A Ratchet TV, I just don't. My sister got me watching the Drewski show on YouTube. She was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you're watching it. You don't even watch Ratchet TV." I was like, I don't know. Some of this, I don't know. Drewski's show had got me hooked for a little bit. I haven't watched it in a little bit, but after I came from Maryland, I'm like, why am I wanting to turn on this Drewski show?
Oh, Drewski looking good up there, ain't he? Looking good up there on that stage. Big Drewski over there, big boy. Okay.
No, it's just entertaining. Like some of the stuff is just entertaining. But yeah. So I'm going to continue playing the video. Thank you so much for those who are in the chat. Definitely hit the like button, subscribe, and hit that bell notification. Ooh. All right.
You said through sickness, through health, you said through good or bad. That's why I came back, but this is going way too far. But it's not even about me. It's about the kids. The stuff that I have to go through with the kids. I have to be witnesses too. I'm at the police at the house. They ask me questions. I don't know how do I lie for my husband. I've never been married before. I'm in love with my husband. I don't want him to get in trouble. So of course I'll be his alibi, but this is going way too far.
All right. So I'm gonna stop it right there. Alibi.
Well, she ain't an alibi no more.
What? Who? Okay, so obviously, who does she go to for advice, guidance, and things like that when it comes to the situation, because who can say that they've dated someone like Dwight Howard? Like, you know what I mean? Like, where did she get her? She says she went to 2 counselors. They went to therapy twice, or went through 2. You know, like, how do you even alibi lying for Dwight Howard?
Well, first of all, you know, you admitted to you can't lie to the cops. It's a crime. So you over here on the internet talking about you lying to law enforcement.
She did a
So
lot
now you're implicating yourself in a crime because this can be used against you. You know what I'm saying? So that one thing, and whoever the damn stupid counselors were, right? I don't know if she went by herself or with him. They're not telling her the truth. I mean, he said, listen, you know, how could a counselor in good conscience send her back into a hellhole?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
unless she ignored the guy or the gal or whatever. But I sit down here and say, wait a minute, you're at DEFCON 5 and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's time to get out.
Come on, man. Listen. Now listen, man. Listen. Dwight Howard, for the last 10 years or so, he been running all up through them Atlanta streets. What we talking about? She in Atlanta, all up through the streets. They know who these people are. They know who these people are. She's looking for the bag and the money lifestyle because she ignored everything. How the kids get involved? Were they her kids or his kids?
Yeah.
His kids. Yeah. So his kid. So now you trying to placate as a mama for his kids, and you willing to lie and put your whole life on the line. Listen, man, it just makes no sense. It's just part of the BS. Dwight Howard's been who he was since Orlando. He's done ran all up through Atlanta streets back and forth, all up through her. He played for the Hawks. He's all up through Magic City. And she know who he is. And now you do what people do. It come into social media, try to get ahead of your game and get ahead of your lie. Yeah. And then when it come back out, she gonna be part of the whole play anyway. You talking against his first woman. What's her name? What's her name? Royce. Now she looking like she been in the streets 25 years. She looking bad. She ain't even looking like a mature. She don't even look like a Precious right now. She look like an old boiled egg. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's just unfortunate. You know what I'm saying? That
it's unfortunate.
Now she's with the play, man. This is come on. I'm gonna cry one day if I can get a tear or two. I'm gonna cry one day and talk about some crazy stuff. If y'all go donate, makes no sense because she, like I said, she admitted she's almost a part of the play anyway.
Yeah. There's more, though. It's more.
Video. Oh, it's more.
There's more.
It's definitely more. But yeah, when she said, you know, I it's my husband, I'll be a part of the alibi, like pretty much saying, like, hey, I got you.
That's right.
I didn't think that we was going to get this deep into the game. Like, you know, what part of the play is this, hubby?
She knew. It just showed up when she wasn't expecting. She knew. That's what I do.
And now I'm getting mixed all in this. I've been with this man for 14 months.
14 months.
I cannot ruin my entire life for something that this person is doing. I just cannot do it. I tried to get so much help. I asked for counseling in our marriage. We went through 2 different counselors. When I say I love my husband, I don't want to leave my husband. But the positions he keeps putting me in, and it's all over nothing. I keep telling people he needs some help, y'all. I live with him. This is not him. This is not Dwight. This is trauma. This is everything he's been through, but just not the kids. I have to advocate for the kids. And I can't go down for what he's doing. So they took our daughter. And
she just said, I can't go down for what he's doing. What exactly do you think he's doing? You're on mute, Coach. What?
Listen,
I mean,
Precious, I was just agreeing and repeating everything you said. Like,
yeah, like what is he doing, girl?
Mm.
What's happening over there?
See, that's how the lie get out in front of the story. You telling all these innuendos, everything. You ain't even supposed to be talking. If that's the case, you should be going straight to the popo. Because if my wife doing some dumb shit, I'm going straight to the popo. Like, I ain't with that shit. We talk about these things all the time.
The very latest, and I was rushing and I couldn't grab it, but he even put out a video or a post pretty much saying that ain't mine. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't like denying everything that she's saying. I'm gonna see if I can find it, but let me keep playing the video.
Well, before you go there, because she actually, if you keep this one going, she actually shows some shit that she should never put on it.
Yeah, I'm definitely show that. But I did see the most recent post is of Dwight Howard.
Of course.
I don't. He turned into Ray Charles now. Like,
I ain't seen shit.
That's what's happening.
It's so funny.
Sitting there like, do I speak up? Do I be quiet? What do I do? But I caught this man. I caught this man forcing our 12-year-old son to cover for him, his son, to cover for him. He had him lying. I recorded it. He was coaching our son to lie on me, and I had to record it. And it's this shit. I try to tell everybody he needs some help. And ain't nobody would have fucking listened because he got the money. I kept saying, whatever you
done lost your damn mind. When you get your damn mind, you call me.
Man.
This is what I'm fucking losing my.
She pulled out a bag of cocaine?
Allegedly.
And we don't know what's in the bag.
It's not.
That shit was some flour in a cereal bag.
Yeah, but all I'm trying to say is whether it's flour, cocaine, we could argue that. But if let's just say it's the real deal, right? You're pulling out this weight on the internet.
You gotta be down bad. Like
Yes.
you have to feel like you have no one on God's green earth on your side. To get to a point,
is that really that true? I mean, this is
I thought I had my Cheez-Its close. You know how you got cheese? I like Cheez-Its. And it's the clear bag inside with the cheese. She pulled a whole bag.
The white powder.
It was 2 bags. She put out. It was the bag inside of a bag. Both of them were clear. Come on, man. What are we talking about?
Oh, you got good eyes. I know.
Yeah, she put. It was a bag inside of a bag.
So the point really is if she filled it with powder or if it's the real deal.
Yeah.
The truth of the matter is I've never seen anybody, whatever the implications are, it's on video that there's possibly some illicit substance in quantity.
In her
quantity.
In her possession.
In the house with the kids.
If I'm Dwight Howard, he said, I didn't pull that bag out. It's hers.
I ain't touched that shit.
Yeah.
My thing is, girl, you could have did the whole video without that bag. That you could have did the whole video without the bag. We didn't need to see the bag.
We
well, yeah, because now you calling for help, you gonna get some help. They're gonna put you right behind that wall.
Where's the bag, man? You know, if I'm Dwight Howard, that's not my bag.
Shit ain't never been in my house.
It's not even just the bag. Look at what she's doing.
Yeah.
Hold on. Is that a peel? Is that a peel, Precious?
It's not that she just pulled the bag out. This is what she did. I don't know what that device is. I don't do Johnson and Johnson.
Is she gonna slice it up?
Fucking marriage to this shit. This shit right here. I told everybody, y'all gotta help him. He is spiraling. I'm in here with him. I'm trying to love him through it. I was gonna run out the door. I was gonna leave.
Time out. No, time out. I know y'all saw that. Precious. Did she or did not pour that in her left hand?
I'm convinced that he's not the only one doing it.
She's high right now, allegedly.
there, because she's crying for, and in no way is this funny or a joke, but you know, some things is just like it's like but she's crying out for help, and a lot of people that want to escape, they escape through drugs, they escape through alcohol, they escape through corn, they escape through all the things that your fleshly body is going to be addicted to and don't know how to fix itself from, right? So the mere fact, like, if this was really a problem, if you really had a problem with him doing it, that stuff would have been flushed down the toilet. Nobody would have even known that it was in your household. You would have said, look, I've gotten rid of it plenty of times, or I know that he has this issue, and I have a strong, like, I can't take it because it's consuming our marriage, and I've done things to throw it away or flush it down the toilet or tell da 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 da. You got it in the front seat. Not only do you have it in the front seat, then you put some in the palm of your hand. Then you crying hysterically. Your nose is all stopped up, crazy. Your nose, and it's like.
But did she take that hand and do that?
Listen, yes, it was the same hand she put it in. She never shook it off. Only thing she did was turn the hand over and then wrist. Listen, if your hand has moisture on it, listen, that's the same hand. What are we talking about?
Everybody, y'all gotta help him.
Look, y'all gotta help him as she's putting her hand in the back.
He is spiraling. I'm in here with him. I'm trying to love him through it. I was gonna run out the door. I was gonna leave him. But everybody told me, don't leave him. He's struggling. I stayed, but not this year. We got the police involved. CPS, you're lying on me. You making up alibis. You got our son.
Did we miss it?
This shit.
There it is.
Watch
this shit right here. I told everybody, y'all gotta help him. He is spiraling. I'm in here with him. I'm trying to love him through it. I was gonna run out the door. I was gonna leave him.
Took a nice little snort out there.
Yes. Come on, man.
Yo,
like, I was gonna walk out the door. I was gonna leave him. You know why?
I had to go back and get my dope. What you talking about?
Like,
he found it.
Like, as bad as, and that's the bad thing, Arpain, like you said, like, if you want to put this stuff out, and kind of what I said, tell your part in it. Be honest. Tell us that you was back in the garage too doing it. And you got caught up in the mess with him, because that's usually what happens when you have one. I know my biological mother was a drug addict. And she had partners that indulged in this with her. It wasn't just her.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, it wasn't just her. So if you want to come to the internet and talk about, try and point fingers at this man, and I tried to leave him and he got problems, and let us know down for the down you can get down to. Like, let us know that you so, because y'all was one, right? Y'all came together and y'all won, and you didn't want to leave because that is your husband and you in love with him. The more reason why I know that you was doing it with him. So he's not alone in this.
I think she's the only one doing it.
Well, could be. If I was a dime store lawyer, everything she said. If I was a dime store lawyer, everything she said, how are you gonna blame this on Dwight? You're the one. You got the bag in your hand.
Yeah, I think
I
believe that Dwayne probably, had.
No, I do too. But if I'm on defense, though, and you never see me with the bag, and the only person who's accusing me of having the bag has the bag. If I'm a defense lawyer, I say, what do you mean? She's the one with the bag.
Lawyer is definitely going to have a field day with that, because it's undeniable proof. Like, there is no
chain of evidence.
That there is no burden of proof there. We all see it. We all.
But has there ever been allegations of Dwight Howard strung out on cocaine? It's been more BS though. It's been.
I think I had my athletes mixed up. Who went with Chloe?
There was Lamar Odom.
Okay, I got him mixed up.
Yeah.
And
he was definitely a drug
addict. He owns it. That's what I like about him. At least he owned it. Like,
he was down bad.
But again, like you've already mentioned, the big caveat to these people that do those type of drugs: They hang together.
Mm-hmm.
They hang together.
Yeah.
I believe, just based off how she's telling her story, done ran off with the dope in her car and all, you somewhere faking like you poured it. Why did you pour it? Listen, the bag was good enough. But then you poured it in your hand.
You got a little hit there.
You got, hold up. You got a vial. You tap it in your hand, and then you come on, man. So to me, I think he found out who she was, and she got caught up in it, because why do they take the kids? Only thing they gonna do is question the kids.
Well, remember, these are his kids.
Oh, well, yeah. Why they take the kids?
I can't really tell you why they took the kids.
Yeah, I know.
But if there is drug abuse, if there is substance in the homes, they're definitely going to take the kids, no matter who.
They take the young girl, but not the 12-year-old boy, though.
But they can take them. They can take them all out, Payne, because what they're going to do is question the older kids until they get the truth story.
They said they took the young girl already. How come they didn't take the 12-year-old out the house?
I think both.
12. It may be consent age in Alabama. She's not in danger. See, she's not in physical danger, so they necessarily won't take the older kid because she can speak for herself.
Well, it's a boy. The older kid is a boy.
But he can still speak for himself, and they'll take him off and ask him and all these questions and be like, "Nah, ain't nobody did this and did this." But to me, she's just lying. How she get out the house with the bag of drugs, and then you in the car? It's all a part of the play.
Yeah, she was on this thing like she was on FaceTime with her cousin. Like, this is the internet.
Yes, you're more trustworthy. I hear you though, Coach, because I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt that Dwight. Listen, I had my angle right. I said I don't think there's big rumor that Dwight is at least a bisexual.
They ain't doing drugs though.
No, well, I don't know. We don't know if he's not doing drugs.
Come on now, y'all know Diddy in Jersey right now for being.
Yeah, we don't know if he's not doing drugs.
That's part of that community and that party community. I'm not saying community as in bisexual, gay, with all that, but that party community. That's what keeps them going. Okay,
I get you, Precious. I get you. But she the one that had the bag of drugs in her possession.
I hear you there, but
open. Hold on, open. Let me get some inside.
I'm just trying to figure out your conclusion that he doesn't dabble.
Yeah, I know. Coach, he at the police station right now. That's why he at the police station right now, and the police are going to say, "I see his angle, but he dabbled." But the police are going to say it was in your car. It was in your possession. You had it in your hand. How can we prove
it's on your hands?
Yeah. Now, of course, there are blood tests and things like that, but I'm pretty sure they know how to take it and things like that. They know how to get rid of it in the system. I don't do it. So
the funny thing is, she says, "Oh, he's getting the son to lie on me. He's lying on me. I got the he's lying on me because about to he's trying to bring me down.
See, that's all I'm saying, man.
That is pretty funny.
Listen.
I just thought of I could just see a meme like he's lying on me, and she has like, girl,
hold on, come on, man, you just poured it in that. Listen, people are smart, because if you notice, she poured it, then she took her hand out of the scene, and she was trying to she was lining it up, so she had to get the tears, get the crying, because that covers it up. And come on, man, listen, she has it on her hand.
Back in the bag. Like if she put it on her hand and then it looked like she put her hand back in the bag, I guess to
she did.
Wipe it off or
Think about when your hand, like you've seen it before. We had Kool-Aid straws and you pour it on your tongue, and you know what I'm saying? Or if you just have a wet surface, it's gonna stick. And it may not be a whole lot like the pile, but it's enough to get you a good little buzz. If they got, they had a quarter ounce, maybe bigger than a quarter ounce of drugs. That's just not something people come by. People that do drugs ain't walking around with no quarter ounces. They ain't walking around with that. And they got that in reserve and supply. So I agree with y'all. Dwight, he probably, when he get ready to get called Tyrone over, Tarisha, whichever one he want. I believe he get a little high. You know what I'm saying? And come on, wife, come on in here. But she the one probably addicted to it. That's just me.
Oh man.
Yeah, she got in way too deep, right? You doing this because you love your husband. That's your husband. You gotta protect your husband. You gotta be an alibi for your husband. But we know that you're not just protecting him, you're playing with him as well. Like you're indulging as well because that's your husband. Like, you know, you can't cry the abused wife who tried to stick by her husband when you in the car like this, down bad.
But everybody told me, don't leave him. He's struggling. I stayed, but not this year. We got the police involved. CPS, you're lying on me. You making up alibis. You got our son, my stepson, lying. And thank God I recorded it. And he innocent in this, but you said just to protect yourself, you would take anybody out, including me, and I can't let you do it no more. I don't want to share the dirty secrets. I don't want to go out like how everybody else did.
And that's the end of the video. But then there are dirty secrets. It's like, why come to the internet where we gonna be like, girl, but what's happening over there? What's going on over there? Like, you know what I mean? It's and I can see why a man would be like, all right, I'm done with you. I don't have nothing to do with you. Like, there's nothing to talk about. You know what I mean? Because at this point, you know, like you said, Arpain, like now you got, it's one thing to maybe post us if we go on to lunch or something, but now you got my personables out on the internet. Like, you know what I mean? Now, you know, we're talking about children and CPS and recording things and dark secrets, and you know, it's just too much for a case.
Absolutely.
Not against her. Not against her, Precious.
Much for a case.
Not against her. She's implicating herself in the video. Everything she's saying. You got the son lying on me. What did you do? Because the police are going to question that. They're going to question the children. That's the one thing they know. We know once they get them away from the adults, they're going to put the pressure on the kids. And sometimes, and kids more than 99% of the time go tell the truth. So and it's just unfortunate because Dwight has been in the streets before for the same allegations outside of drugs. We ain't heard nothing about drugs. It's been about how he's living his personal life. And she just got in over her head, I believe.
Yeah, I think so too. I think she should have not, you know, took it as far as marriage. Like, if you felt like you wanted to deal with Dwight Howard because he got some coins and you wanted to live that lifestyle for a little bit to see how it was, I'm not saying that it's right, but obviously you run in them circles, right? You know, you're on these shows, you're around these athletes and their wives or their side chicks or their baby mamas, whatever the case may be. You're in that atmosphere with all of that going down. But why would you take it as far as
she did, right,
marrying him, even if he did ask you? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, just because a woman is asked to be married doesn't mean that she has to accept. It doesn't mean have to receive this proposal. It just you know, and is Dwight Howard even marriage material?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Like,
but they know he's not, though, so
right, but that's pretty much what I'm saying. Like, you know these things, however, you still push the envelope and do things to get yourself locked into this situation. And is there a way out? Of course, but now you gotta go the hard way out. When you could have just took the easy way. You could have took the front door. Now you got to take the back door. Like, now you got to take the back door. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, hola. Welcome. The family is back. Yes, we are back. And definitely join whenever you are available. Of course, I've dropped the chat. The link in the chat, excuse me. So if anybody wants to join, you definitely can join. But yeah, I wanted to play that video because it's when we get into this other excerpt that I'm going to read, and we talk about the dating of 2026, we have to remember that people come to the internet with their emotions, with
Right.
their experiences, with their hurt and their pain and their trauma, and sometimes their redemption story or whatever the case may be. But everyone, makes their choices and has made their choices. And to get on the internet to try to make the opposite sex look bad, or the other person that you were once in a relationship look bad, or even as a collective, like this is about Black men, just off of the strength that this woman dated multiple Black men, and this is what she came up with in her conclusions about dating Black men. So we're going to get into this. If you're watching, definitely hit the like button, share the live, join the live, engage in the live. We're welcome to have. We're happy to have you. Let me see something really quick, because I know I want to keep everybody on track of where we're at during this. Here we go. All right. All right, so I'm gonna read this. You guys follow along. Definitely, like I said, engage in the chat.
Okay.
So we have the state of dating Black men in 2026, a field report, okay, from a successful Black woman who refuses to struggle for love. A year ago, fresh out of an 8-year relationship, I decided I was going to date intentionally, which is adorable. The last time I dated was 2013. Instagram barely mattered. Nobody was optimizing their personality for the algorithm. Men were not podcast educated. High value was not a personality trait. And the phrase soft life had not yet been weaponized. Dating in 2026 is an entirely different ecosystem. And because 99.99% of my experience has been with Black men, this is a reflection on what I've observed there. Not a universal doctrine, not an attack, not a dissertation, even though it seemed like one, just lived experience, conversations with other successful Black women, and patterns that are too consistent to ignore. And here's what I'm seeing. Supply, demand, and the ego of it all. Successful, educated Black men are in high demand, and they act like it. That's not shade. That's and supply, bless you, is limited, and demand is high. The market shifts in favor of the seller. Now let's flip it. Successful, educated Black women, we are not rare. We are statistically overperforming in education. We are building businesses. We are buying homes. We are healing. We're therapized. Is that even a word? We are evolving. And here's the inconvenient part. We are harder to control. You can't dangle money over us if we make our own. You can't gaslight us if we're already unpacked our trauma in therapy. You can't tell us to be more feminine when we know exactly who we are. Dating a successful Black woman is not hard work. It is reflective work. And not everybody wants to look in a mirror. So I'm gonna stop it right there for right now. She says dating a successful woman is not hard work, it is reflective work. And of course, she, goes on to say that at this point in time in life, women are harder to control. So do you guys think dating a successful Black woman is not hard work, but reflective work? Do you even see it that way?
Yeah, you want to go first? Listen, first of all, I
want to know what she meant by reflective.
All right, go ahead, Coach.
Just so I can understand.
Well, let me. I think she may expound upon it in the next slide. I put this in like a video form, but it's different slides. So she says, nobody wants to look in the mirror. A lot of men, especially the ones who feel like they are the prize, want ease. They want admiration without accountability. They want to be coddled, affirmed, mothered. They want a woman who adjusts to them, not one who requires them to grow. And when you are used to being scarce, you start behaving like you are irreplaceable. So I'm not sure if she really went into, she didn't really go into reflective work, but she has reflected on Black men, and she feels as though, you know, when you feel like you're the prize, you want things to come easy. And so, you know, my question is when things are easy for guys, what does that feel like as opposed to when things are hard?
Well, first of all, this piece really is simply a woman who wants a man on her own terms.
Mm-hmm.
And the truth of the matter is, you know, a woman who gets a man on her own terms, that those relationships don't last. Because you're not supposed to get a man on your terms. I believe men are supposed to have women on his terms. So for that respect, we could agree. I could agree with her. But all the premise that she started out with, women being more educated and this and that, you guys are the most in trouble. Most foreclosures, most debt, most everything. You know, so a lot of this stuff she's talking about is an illusion. You know, it's not really true. And even though the select man that she wants has no problem with a successful woman. Most men who are on their square have no issue with a successful woman. This whole notion that a guy, I'm not talking about millionaires, I'm just talking about regular guys, like an asshole like me. I don't have no problem with a successful woman, but if she don't fit my program, we're just not going to be together. You know, and that doesn't make me bad. It doesn't make her bad. She could go find somebody who wants to live under her terms. I'm not living under a woman's terms. I'm not. That doesn't make her, you know, it doesn't mean I'm controlling and all this kind of stuff. It means that in a relationship, we can't debate everything. You either trust me or you don't. Right? And if we have a situation where I have your input, but I got to make, here's the thing. Let me back it up. There's two things about leadership. Responsibility and authority. Right? A woman is willing to give men all the responsibility in the world, but she wants to debate their authority over an issue. That's bullshit. If I'm responsible, I have authority. And if that means I could discuss it with you, but when it comes down to a decision, if I'm going to take the blame, I need the authority to do shit my way. You either trust me to make it right, and if I don't make it right, I can only tell you that I'll make it right on the mistake. You either believe that or you don't. And so I hear what she's saying, but it's the same old trope. A woman wants a man on her own terms. That's not where we belong as men. We don't belong with women on their terms. And that's nature upside down. It really, that's my opinion. But go ahead, Coach.
Yeah, I mean, man, I'm with you 100%, man. Everything you're saying is facts, man. You know, but just the whole misnomers about the whole breakdown of how men are achieving and women are achieving, because most men don't go to typical traditional college, sit your ass down in a chair, listen to some feminist mindset teach you how to be a feminist in your profession. Most men would choose rough and tumble trade skill military. And I'll take a military woman who's gone to the military over a college woman any day. Because one, she's going to get the work done and she's going to be able to do everything. She ain't going to be crying about folding clothes. She's going to be able to go work and fold clothes and cook. We're going to be able to do all of that. So in these type of mindset, yeah, most men, you can, you know what I'm saying? And we can see early when we're getting the play, meaning that some dudes that go to college, they want to go to college, but once they spend a year in college, they'll be like, this ain't for me. It's just an advancement of high school. You know what I'm saying? And men, as they come into being a man, they need to be able to get out and move around and pick things up and all of that. But and most educated people like educated people. Listen, Precious, before I got my degree, I was getting flued out. When I got my degree, I was getting flued out by educated, smart, successful women, right? But they had debt. They had major debt. Like, I'm not going to commit to this $75,000 hole you in. But again, this is a new man because men are transitioning because they've had these things shoved in their face that you're not worth it. You don't make this money. You don't do this. But now men are having those conversations, and over the next 10 to 15 years, it's going to be flipped so bad that a lot of women who believe that they are the prize, they're going to be over. And I think before they get to that mind, they're trying to backtrack with the younger women and say, these men ain't shit. When really, you're not giving them an opportunity to grow with the men. Because even people in the prime of trying to meet each other, both sides are fighting too much.
Yeah.
And I'll say it's not shut up. And this is what, when it comes to these type of things, people tell me, based off education alone, we'll marry 14%, sisters will marry 13%. And it depends on the year. It flip-flops. So by and large, we want each other, but smart people like smart people. It'd be hard for our paying the engineer to date a slow-ass woman today, regardless of how she look, because men are getting away from just the looks of old. Men are looking at, what are your qualities? How can you manage things? How can you do? Because most men, we have to do that by default. At some point, we have to make the transition. And that's where a lot of women are falling apart because.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Coach.
No, I'm done, man.
No, I mean, I know, Preston. So listen, I don't want to trash her article because she has a worldview, the point of worldview, but I've heard it all before. And one of the things is that she's talking about, when she's talking about men, I'm trying to figure out whether some of it is based on her anecdotal experience of the men she had, right? And I think she's just never ran into a real one, or else she wouldn't be saying what she's talking about, right? Because you'll know.
And when you say a real one, what do you mean by that?
When I say a real one, a man who's on his square, somebody she would look up to, that she likes and actually likes her back.
Oh, okay. Right? So I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that's where it all changes. All these narratives. Women are like certain men. The problem is they can't get them. The second problem is, because those men might not be checking for them. The second problem I see is that a lot of these women who are so self-absorbed, when they learn and they heal for whatever reason for themselves. They still don't know how to handle the man that they want. It's not a man handling a woman. It's they don't know how to handle. Because all of your laundry list of shit you want from a man, it all boils down to what you're actually willing to pay to get that. And a lot of women ain't willing to pay the price to get the man they want. It's as simple as that. And that price is really not that high. I think everybody's tripping. Most men want their woman to respect them. Respect them. Trust him. He wants to be able to trust you. And of course, he wants you to be exclusive. And that doesn't mean you got to shut up and don't use your intellect and all that. A guy who wants a woman like that wants her input. He does. I mean, I take my wife's input all the time. Matter of fact, if I have a regret, I probably could have used her a lot more.
Okay.
Yeah.
So women have to understand. Forget about this prize nonsense, okay? Let's throw that aside. Let's not talk about who's the prize. But it's just saying, the nature of a relationship was a man going to ask you to marry him. It's really an honor for a man to ask a woman to marry him.
Right.
I mean, they don't take it that way because you could say yes or no. But when I say real, when a man who's on his square who has something to offer, if he asks you out of all the universe of women to marry him, he's telling you something that a lot of women don't get.
Yeah.
He's telling you that he's willing to put everything else on his life for you.
Yeah, for you.
I don't even know if we ask women to do that back for us. You know, I mean, we're the ones who try to take, I'm just thinking we don't get enough credit for the things that we were willing to do for our wives and families. It's the thing
Sure
that
don't.
gives us purpose besides the purpose of keeping us afloat. And it's just crazy. It's crazy. So her, I don't want to come down on her because I wish she was here so I could talk to her.
Yeah, I love that.
You know, she don't have to agree with me, but I think she just got it backwards. And if she keeps that mindset, she's never going to find a guy she wants.
Well, we're gonna continue to figure out why she feels this way and the experience that she's going through.
Precious, I asked my wife this question. Well, I didn't ask her, but I told her, I said, I'm the prize, ain't it? She like, no, I thought the women. I said, no, I'm the prize. I said, look at you. Look at what I do for everything. I said, everything, you don't have to, you so Edelman said this, and I hate to quote Edelman because he likes to boast his chest, but and our pain can attest, he does so much for his family, they're delusional. They're delusional. He's done some, but he's also asked the input when needed. That's where I think a marriage is unique at, because if I'm sitting over here banging my head, I damn sure ain't going to no little slow ass nigga on YouTube talking about I'm gonna go to my wife and be like, babe, what you think? Right. And she like to think about it. Let me think about it.
Man, that's a good example.
And when she comes back, it's like, yeah, I was thinking the same thing. So now we moving forward. We ain't sitting there, well, I'm the man, you the woman, and no shit, I'm not going. And again, I guess it comes as you get mature. I'm not looking to take risks where I'm losing money, putting my wife in danger. And those days behind me. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's to each his own. Everybody go through unique experiences. It's just when you find your person, have those conversations. You cannot assume that you didn't know shit a year and a half into marriage. You got to have that shit. If you got to go dinner 3 days in a row, you cook, she cook, y'all go out to eat, walk in the park, ride a bike, sit off at the Rock. Y'all got to talk about some real stuff.
Yeah.
And, people just don't shoot
man Williams. You don't eat a man Precious? You ever heard of him?
I've heard. I think I've seen him
a couple times around.
From time
he's kind of unique. He's got a big business, right? So he marries a woman. She has 2 kids. So he's a stepdad.
Okay.
And and all of the tropes about stepdads kind of don't apply to him. This whole family, this new family, his wife and his kids, they are an integral part of the business that he built.
Everything you do, yeah. It's the way it's supposed to.
I mean, and so when he talks about him, whatever magic his wife knows how to do, he extracts that. And then he put the kids in, and they're all an integral part of the business. He got an empire he's built.
Well, well, maybe he need to come up on the panel, because, going through these YouTube, panels and things like that, the single mom gets a lot of flack, right?
Right, no doubt.
But then you have someone like Eve the Man. Is that?
Yeah, he calls himself Williams. E. Williams. Yeah.
E. Williams, has come along, and he's like, okay, well, if you're gonna be my wife now, I'm gonna put you to work. That's what a man is supposed to do. A man is supposed to put a woman to work, because her idle time is the devil's playground, right? Like, so, but those people are few and far between, because most men will want a woman with no children, or, a man is supposed to see the gifts that God has given a woman and say, okay, and, especially if he's building something, right? Okay, you have these gifts, you can do this well, I'm going to put you to work over here, and that's how, a woman is not just with a man for his money, because she's going to work. Right. You know what I mean? She's
her willingness to do it says a lot.
Right. So, I think that, Coach Ferg, was like, I'm the prize. I think when you find somebody that you could truly click with, be real with, and love on, and you guys work together as a team, you found a prize within one another, because it's rare. It's just rare. It's rare that you really could find someone that, understands you or trusts you, or, is okay with your quirkiness, or is okay with your darkest fears, or your desires, because as men, you guys can't really be real.
That's the best way to go.
Be, in this world, period. So, some men had their boys for that, but some men do rely on their woman to be that safe space for them. And so, I think that the woman, I'm not bashing the woman in this article either, but maybe she just hasn't found that, you know what I mean? And it could be the mindset around it. It could be some of the ideologies that she feels as though all Black men encapsulate. And she does say not all Black men. So I don't want to say that she thinks all Black men don't. But I think that a lot of women get hurt in love and they think that every man is going to hurt them in love.
Yes.
Like, no, maybe that's just not your man. Like, it's okay. Like, maybe that's just not the one. It's just keep going, sis. Like, it's okay.
They believe a lot of women have been hurt too because they was hurt, because they felt that they were the one, but in reality, the man determines that. Because he has to answer the matter.
And you can't get mad if he don't choose you. You can't get mad if he don't want you. And I think women just want to be that one so bad. They just want to be that one so bad. And I can understand, you may love marriage, you may want marriage, you may, but if it's just not your time, it's not your time. And so I think that where I, come at this article is that it just wasn't your time yet, sis. Like, it's just not your time. And I know that opening this conversation up to other people who may feel the same way, to build a community or to have a community around this conversation. But, you really just can't get caught up in what didn't work. Like, a lot of women get caught up in what didn't work. Men do it too. You get caught up in what didn't work, and it don't even have to be a relationship. It could be work. Like, you got fired. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
they had to let me go. They was wrong. They go fire me because I ain't pick up those boxes, because that's in your job description.
Is it right? That's what you're supposed to do. But and you sit in that funk for a little bit, and no man don't like when he's not making money. I don't know any man who's okay being broke.
Not a man, for sure.
Not having no money come in. And so, women do it when it comes to relationships, and it's like you're in this funk and you don't want to do certain things, and it's just like, brush yourself off and try again. That to me, it could just really be that simple. I don't know.
You're right. Can I ask y'all a question? Because I hate when people talk about this education thing, right? 95% of brothers go to non-traditional college route.
Yeah,
95% of men go the non-traditional college route, and trade school is a part of advanced education. It is a part of it. Most women go to traditional, carry their book bag, sit in the class, and can't read silent because they slow. I'm just being facetious, but most of them can't read silent. I worked in the college; they confused like a mug. But it's just, you might go and enroll, spend your refund check on your apartment and your new car, but most of them ain't graduate. A brother would go to a non-traditional trade school or something for 2 or 3 years, spend $3,000 at most, get paid $60,000, $70,000 coming out with the experience. So there's no flex if I'm coming out of college with $60,000. My brand new BMW cost $60,000, so to be paying that for 30, 40 years, when it makes no sense to have that debt.
A lot of men also, go the military route, and they, get that experience, and then they get their school and paid for. They later on in life. So you really can't really put a time frame on getting education, because a lot of men, whatever they decide to do, they are learning something, whatever it is. It just may not be the traditional go to class, wake up early.
There lies the other fallacy that if you don't go to college, you're not educated. You don't need to go to college to read books. And a lot of Black women have this danger in their heads that if a man's not college educated, somehow he's less than. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a huge mistake. Yes. Because, what are they teaching in colleges anyway? Besides liberalism and stuff like that. But You're just taking traditional books. I mean, you can't build nothing out of some of these colleges you go to. So, there's a lot of guys who take a trade. They got to learn the craft.
Yes.
They got to be able to be marketers. They got to be able to build and all this kind of stuff. And they got to read books to do that. And so, a woman said, well, you're less than me because you don't have a degree. Now, even businesses ain't looking at your degree as anything anymore. What's your experience?
You know what they took out of the college entrance exam in 2021? They took out the personal statement. So they only had to write the personal statement anymore. They took that out a few years ago. So you can just fill out the application and go. So it demonstrates how college has watered itself down. It's dummying down because he's
be nice. Okay, let's see more of her conversation. Okay.
All right, I read that one. So she goes on to say there's a nostalgia trap. There's a growing romanticization of our grandparents' era. I just want a traditional woman. I want someone feminine. I'm old-fashioned. The problem is not tradition. The problem is selective memory. That era looks stable from the outside. Two-parent households, clear gender roles, defined structure. But for many women in that generation, it also meant enduring cheating, abuse, financial dependence, and silence. It meant saying, because you had no options, we do not want to return to a time when we had fewer rights and fewer exits. I here when she say fewer rights and fewer exits, it's almost to say, yes, women nowadays have more choices, but we all know when you give a woman a lot of choices, she's not going to probably make the best choice. She's probably not going to make the best choice. And so to say you want fewer exits, well, when you find you only need one. So when you find the right one, why should there be so many exits? You know what I mean? Like, why does that have to be the way that you look at the relationship with someone in today's society, just because you have more options? Of course, if you have more options, there's going to be, more of a reason to exit. But when you are trying to, I just don't like the terminology, because if you're dating, then you're dating. You're gathering information. So if you're gathering this information of this man being, a man wanting a traditional woman, and you're not that woman, just keep it moving.
Listen, the article again, and I understand she's saying it from her point of view. It's women who want traditional men more than anything else. We sit down here and listen to women all over social media. Everything they want from a man is him being traditional. The thing is, they refuse to be traditional back. And then this, why would me as a traditional man marry you and you want to be everything for the streets? Whether you having sex with a lot of guys or not, there's some shit I'm going to expect from you. It's like, hey, I want you to be traditional, so I'm going to judge you based on whether you can provide, give me the 4 Ps, protect, and whatever those things mean these days, procreate, problem solve, do all those kind of things to keep me feeling safe. But in return, you get what I give you and be happy about it. I'm not, what kind of deal is that? And here's the thing. And the other thing about all these young women of today saying that their grandmothers and all the women of the past were just shithole beaten down.
Bullshit.
They were some of the strongest women ever.
Bullshit.
Right? I can't stand to hear that bullshit. I mean, all my aunts from the silent generation, a couple from the greatest generation, they stayed married. They had jobs. They had pensions. They had freedoms. And this whole thing, when women talk about cheating, I can't stand it. You know how many men accepted the fact that their woman stepped out and raised some other man's baby back then? Or a lot. This whole notion. Were there men who were cads? Absolutely. And they're here today because you know why? Women today complain more than any other era about men. A lot of it's projection. So I'm gonna sit back and I was back there. I mean, most of the marriages in our house are the things that kept the Payne family together today on fumes. All the illegitimate kids who came into our family, guess why they didn't go on the street starving? Because their parents and grandparents had houses and a place to put them.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, and now you're going to shit on that because you don't have some freedom today. Guess you think a Gen Z is going to take care of your little bastard kid? I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. You know, but your little no,
the slow ass kids.
And I didn't mean to say the B word, but the fact is, you know, they're not going to do it. You think the millennials are going to sit down there and sacrifice everything? No.
Well, that's the thing. Because of, you know, this separation and lack of wanting to be in union, there's not going to be as many kids as it was back in the day. Like people had like, you know, 7, 8. I'm the oldest of 7. Like people had so many kids, and like women are not because and even let's just say even if they don't get married but they have a kid, they're not having 7 of them. They're not going
to. Okay, you're right. That's the number, but it's the mindset that the lady said in the article that bothers me.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
It's not, you know, we're in the modern era, and she says she's talking about men wanting somebody traditional. Listen, I think men have been as flexible as we can be. Right. Yeah, at one point, we all wanted virgins.
Yeah.
Right. We threw that shit out the window.
Yeah, at one point, we done came a long way now.
Yeah, that's out of the window. You know, and now we just hold the word on the pole. I mean, I'm just sitting down here listening to this lady. All I'm just trying to say is I don't want to come down on her, but
I'm coming down on her.
Typical modern woman stuff.
Yes, because everything she's saying, it might have happened in her family.
Right.
My mother has 6 sisters. All of them was married till they passed away. I still got 2 of them limping around today. They damn near 80 years old. Married. My grandmother and grandfather were married. Both of the grandmamas I had passed before my daddy's father remarried. My mother's father didn't remarry. They had houses. Like my grandfather left my mother a house that it can't be sold for 100 years. I have 6 siblings. We have to all agree if we want to do anything with that property. Me, I ain't agreeing ever. I done already told them, don't even. So if whether y'all go live in it, my sister living in it now. It's like my mother sold a half acre of it, but it's a nice old yard. Sitting in the neighborhood, you boom. So this misnomer that women couldn't work, sisters have always worked. That's the lie. Black women, because when you look at the history, who cleaned the white people's houses? The black women. They've always worked. We've never been able to go fight Jim Crow, Precious. Then I'm going to come home and I'm going to beat you up. Abuse you in front of our kids because we ain't had no 5 bedrooms. We had 4 rooms. 5 people slept in 2 rooms. So all of this, that's white boy shit. Black folk ain't never lived that way. But here we are in this modern era. We've adopted those ideologies based off of our anecdotal experiences and try to spread it to most of us. Most black people ain't been through these things. It's still a small number. The numbers are what they are. And when you go outside, I don't know. We on this panel. I've never seen any of my sisters. I have 5 sisters. I never seen any of my aunts and my other female cousins talk about being harassed or abused within their homes. I never heard those type of comments. We had, because remember we used to have picnics and family reunions and you can get together and find out who ain't doing shit in the family. And they had that good. See, now these young folk, they don't want to get together with no family because most of them got 2 or 3 different families. Over the modern era, because when they gave us birth control, women took control. That's why they say this cheap thing. Dude couldn't stay there. You chose the welfare over me. Right. So where am I going to go? I'm going to go over to Betty's house on the other side of town because that's the way the welfare worked. On the 1st and the 15th, they're on the west side. On the 15th and the 30th, they're on the east side. So I can't stay here after the 15th. So let me get on over here to where I can stay. Because
And that's what creates that love-hate relationship, right? Because I don't think it was more so that women couldn't work and they couldn't do for themselves and things like that. But when you do introduce an incentive for a family and you take out the man, right? A woman is now going to deal with you on her terms because she's being incentivized to do so. So
Right.
when you talk about, abuse or men doing whatever they want and things of that nature, I think that's more of that community, because you'll see a woman who has multiple kids, she's on welfare or getting assistance and things of that nature, deals with the baby dad on her terms, and of course there's going to be some type of disconnection, some arguing and things of that nature, because now you don't live in this home, right? You out in the streets doing whatever you want to do. You come see your child whenever you want to come see your child. But that was something that was agreed upon by Black women. They were okay with that setup. They were okay with that. You were okay with that setup. So instead of being, and not all Black women, some Black women, but instead of being that unified front who is just going to stick it out and work it out for the kids, now you have this tug of war and this back and forth and this household dynamic of the man being on the outside and the woman being on the inside.
And it's all by design. All by
Right,
design.
by design. Right, but we can't forget about history either. Like Black women can't forget that a lot of those things did affect, where this struggle love is coming from now.
Cool. Yeah, it's all based on choice. So you're right. I mean, listen, the only thing I would give Black women back then who took the deal, because again, some didn't take the deal. We got to be honest about that. Right. A lot of women, there's nothing, and it's not a Black man thing. There's nothing probably more tough than dealing with a man who feels he can't provide.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So he's in your house and you get this deal that will give you just a little bit less that you can survive off of, but you don't have to put up with that shit because the guy, is coming home angry. Even if he's not taking it out on you, he's just not his best self.
Right.
So a lot of women say, you know what? If I can survive without that kind of trauma, I'm gonna do it. And so I mean, it was all part of the plan. It was the Faustian deal that was LBJ put on the end of the civil rights movement when he started coming up with welfare and stuff like that. And our Black leaders, they some of them knew it, what that would do to us in the future, and they said nothing. Yeah. So anyway, I'm just saying. So I like her. I see where this lady's coming from, but it's all based on her anecdotal experience, and she's extrapolating out into the future. And some of it is projection, and I don't agree with a lot of what she's saying, but I can see where she's coming.
She goes on to say, and yet I've noticed many Black men are either apolitical, agnostic to social issues, or quietly conservative in ways that directly impact women's autonomy. There's a longing for simpler times without acknowledgement of those times, were simple for, of who those times were simple for. Excuse me. Nostalgia is easy when history was kind to you. It is less charming when it wasn't. She says, I'm pro-Black, I'm anti-struggle. This is the part that makes people uncomfortable. As Black people, so much of our collective achievement has come through struggle, survival, endurance, resistance. We've been taught that if it costs you something, it's valuable. If it hurts, it's meaningful. But somewhere along the way, that logic bled into love. We normalized chaos as chemistry. We labeled instability as passion. We rebranded inconsistency as he's just figuring it out. And if she stays, she's loyal. She's a ride or die. So again, this struggle was invited in to homes of, do I love him or do I hate him? Can I welcome him or do we got to stay outside? I got these babies and it's just me, but I need his help, not just his money. So there's been a struggle of Do I, what is it? Do I leave or do I go? Do I stay or do, what's the song? You know, there's
Mhm.
been a struggle of, do I deal with him or not? And you allowed someone to be the overseer of that instead of not realizing that you're better with him than without him, especially if you have children together. But now we're seeing it as a struggle. Now we see it as a struggle when then it was just such an easy thing to do. It was such an easy thing to discard, black men, or have them outside the home. If she stays, she's loyal, she's a ride or die. Yeah, if that's her man, if that's who she's supposed to be with, yes. She stays and she's loyal, she's a ride or die, because with love comes struggle.
No.
Love is work. Love is work.
No. But what's the previous paragraph had a lot of stuff in there too. Even before
Bullshit. A lot of bullshit in
but
it.
if you go the previous paragraph that you read to this one, yeah.
Oh, boy. Apolitical.
Here's the thing, right? With men being apolitical, agnostic.
Come
Does
on,
that mean without God? Apolitical,
you don't really,
agnostic
yeah.
on social issues, and or quietly conservative in ways. She's talking about baby deletions.
Can we break it down though?
All I'm trying to say is one of the things that get women more pissed off today is because men are no longer, if we ever were, apolitical.
Exactly.
I mean, the Black Panthers party wasn't started by a woman, right? We had a lot of brothers, man. We had the Nation of Islam. We had black men throughout the years that have always been political. And I don't know where she's getting it. Even if you're on a liberal side with the Urban League, Operation Push, SNCC, all of that kind of stuff, these were organizations started by men. And then talking about, so I don't know what she's talking about here. And then conservative in ways directly impacting women's autonomy. Well, I don't know where most black men fall on this situation without mentioning a word. Most of us will say, if we haven't been involved in one way or the other, most of us will say, we don't get in the way of that. I've never seen black men picketing against women doing what they need to do if they got in trouble. Whether we agree with it or not, it's not like we voted. That's not one of our biggest voting issues.
Right.
It really isn't. So I don't know where she's coming from. And the longing for simpler times without acknowledgement of who these times were simple for. Is she trying to say that there was a time in America where it was simple for black men? Is she actually trying to say something like that?
Come on, man. Yep.
Is she crazy?
Yeah, because this can't be a sister.
Go ahead.
No, this can't be a sister who's writing this, obviously. It can't be a sister. It can't be. So brothers are agnostic towards social issues, and they're for the stream for the last 5-6 years. We've been talking about social issues.
Yeah.
So all these old and conservative to where, okay, she's talking about deletions of the babies. We trying to say don't delete no more brothers that look like me in our pain up here. Let them brothers come to life. If you out there in them streets and you busting it open and you get pregnant, at least let the baby come. Don't go have 5 deletions in 6 months, a year. That's all. Yes, we just trying to say, listen, slow down.
Think about it. Even in the bottom there, like you talking about, there's let's bring it home. There's a Lapeef network.
Yes,
they talk about all of these issues.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, nostalgia is easy when history is kind to you. Like I've been said. When the hell has history been kind to niggas with big nose and big lips in America?
Yeah, I read that. I'm like, who was it?
Precious, y'all ain't even kind to yourself. Y'all single people ain't even kind to each other. What are we talking about today in the modern era? The finest of y'all don't even want to get together and work on these things because, and it just listen. I'm with y'all. I'm not bashing the woman. She's in her thoughts and her mind. But I'm just bashing the lie, and this is where get mixed up for a lot of young people, right? These narratives, once you write them down, you can push them how you want.
That's right.
And they'll read this and be like, yeah,
that's right.
ain't holding us, ain't nobody holding you back. You've been busting it wide open since you were 17. Your mama didn't hold you back. School didn't hold you back. So
that's what I'm saying. You never hear the
analysis,
the accountability part of it. You know, it's just like, oh, I've been through these experiences, and you know, I'm pro-black and I'm anti-struggle, and you know, we somewhere along the way that logic bled into love of going through struggle and survival and endurance. You know,
why they be mixing stuff though? Why people mix two different ideologies and ideas at the same time every time? We can't have freedom with our own body, but I want to. Come on, man. What are we doing?
Okay, so what's next? You know what? It sounds to me that she still has a whole lot of healing to do.
Yes.
But I do not want to endure love. I want to rest in it. I want to love to regulate. I want love to regulate my nervous system, not fry it.
Wow.
I want it to be a refuge from the world, not another battleground. I want consistency without confusion, affection without anxiety, commitment without coercion. Struggle built our ancestors. It does not need down payment for my marriage.
Wow, that's crazy.
Right. Wait a minute. Don't go through.
Yeah, you running fast.
Hanging on up.
No, I'm just saying. Listen, we could move on. I mean, we could try to tear apart everything she's saying. I mean, listen. Who doesn't want consistency over confusion?
Right.
You know, in terms of a man, right, who is on his square, we're the ones who are supposed to bring order to chaos. Usually, if she's dealing with a man who's chaotic, you know, she ignored a whole lot of red flags to fall in love with this guy.
Yeah.
Right? That's what I'm saying. Most men, you know, if she was looking for, maybe they're not checking for her. I don't know what this woman looks like, but if she had a guy in front of her who was on his square, and I'm not even talking about a rich man, it's just a guy who's about business, whatever that business might be. He's going to be consistent in order for him to be successful in whatever he's striving for. And if he chooses her, he's going to show her consistency, right? And not confusion. Matter of fact, he's probably going to tell her that you're the one who's confused, and let me help you out here, sis.
No, she's damaged goods are paying. She's
and she might not accept that because she sounds like, again, she wants a man on her own terms. And you know, women who, I'm not saying women shouldn't have a little bit what they want out of the guy.
Right.
But if you want him to behave the way you think he should,
it don't matter.
Then we got a problem.
Our opinion won't matter with this person. It won't matter. She's using the word love to regulate her nervous system. What are we talking about? Nervous. Come on, man. Nervous, and then she has anxiety. She's talking about some issues that she's had. She's just trying to put it into work. She's like Francis said, she's taking the responsibility off of her and putting it on men. And this is the way the man gonna be, and this is the way I ain't gonna be, because we ain't going back to being in the house. We ain't going back to nurturing the kids. We outside.
Yeah.
We ain't wearing the long dress. We gonna show cleavage. We gonna show. Come on, man. What are we talking? Ain't nobody coercing you. So that's just like go back to the video. He was coercing you to use those.
Right. There's these choices.
Struggle built our ancestors. That makes no sense.
There are choices that you have made in your life as a woman. Chalk it up to making bad decisions, making the wrong decisions, wherever it is. It didn't land you in a spot where you thought that you would be. But that does not mean that, you know, everyone out here is bad and they trying to have struggle love. No, they just not trying to be with you, you know, and you not trying to be with them. And just keep it moving. Right now, we at the crossroads.
Okay.
Now, let me say this clearly: not all Black men, but when the same themes show up in my life, My life, my life, my life. And in the lives of hundreds of successful Black women I speak to, it stops feeling random. We want to marry Black men. We want beautiful Black families. We want cultural alignment and shared experience, but not in exchange for chaos. Okay, no chaos. The crossroads.
I think, this is a projection, though. I mean, because, I don't know what she's talking about, chaos.
She's talking about her life.
What kind of ministry?
Right. She's talking about her life. Her life.
Yeah.
She's talking about her life and her girlfriend's life.
And like a group of friends.
He did it again. He ain't come home and da. Well, you stay, girl. You like I'm the real friend. I'm the one, like, I know my sisters always be like, I know you don't want to hear about the drama. You're right. I don't. Because you already know. You know what the part that you're playing in order for this song to continue to be playing. So no, don't come to me. Don't.
That's why you only got your sister as your friend, Precious. Ain't nobody else gonna be your friend, because your sister, she needs that from you. That's why she comes to you. But she knows
I'm not that cold. But there are times where I'm like, no, like we've had this conversation over and over and over and over and over again. Either make a plan, write it down, stick to your guns this time. Like, I have sisters, so I'm not like certain things that people like that I see
outside of that. Like,
I have seen and heard all of this before, and I'm a woman myself. I'm not exempt from a lot of things that come across these. I'm a woman myself, and I have lived and I have learned. But I'm not going to sit up here and blame other people for the mistakes or the decisions that I have made. Maybe I have lost out because of those decisions, but that's what I have to endure in my life. Like, I have to stand on it, and I think that women don't want to stand on the fact that you messed up, you made a mistake, you shouldn't have did this in this period of your life, or like, you know what I mean? It's okay to say that you was the messed up one. And you probably got in a relationship with somebody else that was messed up and y'all just wasn't right for each other. Not that he made you struggle. And no, girl, every time you made a decision to stay, you signed up for struggle love.
No doubt.
Because you wanted to struggle too. And if it wasn't struggling how he was struggling emotionally, you were struggling because you didn't really want to do it, but you decided to because you didn't want to be alone. You needed a warm body at night. You need somebody to help you pay these bills. Like, there's always a reason. Like Cardi said, what was the reason? We can name a lot of them. And it's not a lot of these reasons that this woman is naming in this dissertation. Okay. She goes on to say, and here's the shift that feels seismic. Many successful Black women are experiencing peaceful solitude for the first time in their lives. We grew up in homes marked by scarcity, instability, or survival mode. Now we have built quiet apartments, curated routines, stable incomes, regulated nervous systems. Our homes are no longer chaotic. They are sanctuaries. And when you have fought to build peace, you do not invite disruption casually. When I read that, I said, men have done that too. Men doing this too. They're deciding not to deal with women who are disruptors. It's like, okay, you doing it. Like, you have a peaceful home, you got stable income, your nervous system's regulated. Like you said, Coach Ferg, it's like, okay, well, when you get back into the game, are you knowing how, or are Payne may have said it, one of y'all said it, are you knowing how to deal with men again? Because after you done been out the game for so long, it's like, first of all, you feel like, oh, I don't even want to be in the game, because you can't win unless you're in the game, right? So when you've been out of the game for so long, it's like, don't even put me in, coach. I'll just stay on the bench. Like, I'm good over here. Like,
again, she's her in the second paragraph says it all to me. It says it all. That's the way she grew up. Yeah. She's seen it from her mamas and her aunties.
And she been now.
Yeah, and she got locked in the education, get her education, because everybody told her, go get your education, girl, and and she came out thinking she was above reproach from the men that they're going to the same clubs with. And these men are now looking at her like, no, you old news. So now there's all this other stuff because men are demanding more, and that's a good thing for men. And I think at some point, the women that want to be kept are going to have to come to a realization like, let me stop listening to these old broke down lies that they done told us and find me a good young 26, 30-year-old with a strong back and some big shoulders that I can, snuggle up against and let him pay the, you know what I'm saying? It's just like people are trying to fight the money game, and it ain't gonna work out because the money game is dwindling down for sisters who get a degree to go sit at a desk and type 35 words a minute.
Well, first of all, they ain't finding no jobs. I'm just looking at the first paragraph.
It's crazy.
It'd be nice if peaceful solitude was true, but all these so-called highfalutin women who are peaceful solitude, they're on the internet, they're on the boo and crying that there ain't no men. What peaceful solitude you talking about, right?
You talking about for the first time in their lives. It's almost like you never loved yourself, boo-boo. Like,
yes, never.
Like you couldn't have, because if this is the first time you've gotten some peace, like you've been selling yourself short,
This reminds me of all of these now these things on the internet about these dating
meetups and stuff,
dating parties where the men don't show up.
What happened now?
They have these little dating meetups.
These dating
little meetups, like I said, little dates.
Where
the men don't show up. And because the men and it's obvious, and women still don't listen to men, right? Because we told them, men have told them 1,000 times, I don't need to go to a dating show, a party to find a woman.
Right.
So the guys who go there are guys who are just as desperate as the women. Except
but it's two types of guys out there.
Huh?
It's two types of guys that go there.
Let me just say this. The women who go there still have the mindset that they qualify for the best men.
Yeah.
And those are the guys who expressly don't go to these places.
Yeah.
And so they leave by saying, oh, the guys are fat, bald, ugly, this and that, And so men just don't go. Even one ladies, they paid $100 to get in, and the men was free. Men still didn't show up because men ain't stupid. I'm not gonna go there, and if I was, if in dating shape, and I go there and all the women vilify me because I'm not this so-called 10% man, and they're all sitting there, fat, dumb, and happy, drinking around the table.
Fat, dumb, and happy as well.
So men are starting to wise up. They say, listen, no, absolutely not.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's just the way I see it. I'm kind of proud of some of the younger guys, man. They're starting to come around. But we still got plenty of simps out there.
Yeah, plenty. That's what I was saying to show up our pain. That simp guy, that panderer, he'll show up.
Yeah.
See, ladies, I told y'all these men wasn't G.
Yeah, right.
Y'all should come and listen to me talk to y'all and tell y'all about what you need in your life, and I'll come through on your DMs.
Is this the end of it or is more?
It's getting to the end. She says that's why this is a dissertation. She said it wasn't, but it is. We can't blame this girl. Our peace has become a fortress. Only men who add to the stability get access. That requires consistency, emotional maturity, effort, generosity, leadership that is protective, not performative. And some men, especially those used to being in demand, prefer easier options. Women that can impress with money, women they can intimidate, women who will tolerate misalignment for proximity to status. So what happens? Some Black women opt out entirely. Some date outside their race. Some, like me, are at least considering dating outside the country. Because when you live in an unaffordable, high-stress society, it distorts everything, including relationships. Scarcity breeds ego. Financial pressure magnifies power struggles. And suddenly, successful becomes a relative term depending on the market you're in. More options shifts power. And when women have power and choice, we are as likely to settle for someone who meets 6 out of 10 requirements and call it destiny.
Man, come on. This shit went backwards. It went backwards to me. I'm gonna start at the bottom and just go, okay, y'all got power and choices, but y'all still making these badass decisions with all this power and all these choices, all this money. You know what I'm saying? And come on, man. Yes, it goes on both sides. As you get older, you're gonna have to take 5 of them off your list.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna get all of that. And most women want those men. Most women want those men that all women are going for. So you're gonna have to amp up your game. That's part of life. I can't say I want a type of person and I'm not trying to get there. Along the way, I may have to make some pit stops. But if I find something along my way that can fit everything that I need, I'm gonna settle right there.
Yeah.
And it's, I mean, listen, man, I would like to know I'll be thinking in my head, like, what school did she go to? What class did she learn this from? You know what I'm saying? Because now you're talking about it's unaffordable. That's because you ain't got a man. Them bills be kicking in when you're 35. Them bills look different. Look, bills look different when you turn 40. I don't give a what y'all say. You turn 40, you looking at this bill like, damn, I got to pay this for how long? And yes, society is stressful because they're not giving you the leeway that it used to be.
Right.
When 10 years ago, those leeways are gone. Financial pressure, everybody chasing money, most likely ain't gonna never have no money. That's just me. And so, oh Lord, listen, I'm only speaking to the issue. Hopefully women see this and see what the message has been, because we all say we wasn't taught. So that means whatever message you got was wrong or incorrect.
Right.
So do a complete 180 of that shit. Let that old stuff go, and maybe what you're looking for or what you need in the time may show up. But when it show up, have an open frame of mind. Don't blame the man or the woman on some shit that happened in you when you was a 11th grade in high school. You know, it's called growing up.
You know, one of the biggest things that I think stymie some of the new people, especially women, is the word settle.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at some point when you make a choice, even if it's your best choice, you've actually settled for that choice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so we take some of the terms and we make it a negative when it's not. You know, it could be, but it's not necessarily negative. I mean, whoever you wind up with, you make a decision. I'm no longer looking.
Right.
And it doesn't matter whether she hits all the boxes or he hits all the boxes or not. You're no longer looking. So you settle for that choice and you hope to God, based on all your analysis, that it's the best choice you can make.
Yeah.
And it's as simple as that. You know, and a lot of people say, so we put up these false kind of things that, okay, especially for women, if I pick Julian and he only has 6 out of the 10, you know, suppose all of a sudden the guy has 9 out of the 10 shows up. Well,
what's the 10? Like what?
Well, I'm just using numbers like that. I mean, because
there is no 10. There is no 10.
I can't imagine being like, oh, he don't got that. No, that don't.
All this stuff. Like, I mean, it's unrealistic stuff.
Yeah, I mean.
You know, so anyway, I mean, I hear where this lady's coming from. She's got a lot of. She needs some more real world. She needs somebody to sit down with her and go over this particular piece that she puts out there.
Yeah.
Because she certainly didn't have like a peer review with somebody who's not in her echo chamber.
Yeah.
No,
because she sat down with me with that thing.
She said in the article, you know, myself and other successful Black women.
All of y'all are crazy. All of you all crazy.
It's like you're successful Black women who make money, you're educated, but the only area in your life that you feel as though is not excelling the way that you wanted to would be the relationship area. And it's like, you know, are you guys even like a lot of women think, oh, that's my husband. That's like every man is just not your husband. Like, you know what I mean? Are you giving men opportunities, or are you really making bad decisions and staying places where you shouldn't be staying, and now you're mad because the outcome is what you already knew it was going to be in the first place? Like, right? You have some women that have these attitudes towards men that they know ain't shit. Like, they know these men run the streets, or they play games, or they have a lot of babies, or they, like, you know, this is the caliber of man that you're dealing with. Or if you're a successful Black woman, you may deal with a man who may not have the money that you have, and you think that he's there for your money. Like, it's like, if you want to date differently, but just don't blame the men that you have been actively choosing to date.
Precious. Women play both sides of the fence, because really the man that's their husband is the man who's putting that thing on them. That's the man that they like. The man that they come through and put that, not the dude that's trying to take you to the lake and, you know what I'm saying, and have your candlelight dinner under the stars. That's not really the one, because he's not exciting, and he can't be. The dude that has a purpose in his own life can't be controlled. So they'll give their best years of their life to the dude who they know ain't shit. And then when they mature, finally grow up and grow out of that, because that's all he's giving is good sex. He ain't got nothing else going for him. He's always there when she called him to come through. You know what I'm saying? He ain't got to go work. He ain't got to get up early. You know what I'm saying? So, and then when we all do it, we get to an age where we like, oh, I done wasted my time. Yeah. I'm through with him now. I'm looking at Tyrone, but Tyrone, he got a price now. He got a price, and he's like, oh, and the new Tyrone with YouTube, he like, you pay that price first, and then we can play. But women ain't willing to pay the price, and that's why a lot of women, which is unfortunate, they're gonna run with it during the best years of their life, because America is gonna be different, and a lot of women, they're gonna have to settle for old Nug now, because Nug is growing up too. And he's growing up too, because in America he has no choice, or he falls off.
Or not even settle, or just be single and shut up. Like,
that's right.
No, they like that man. They like that man breathing on them and touching them.
And shut the hell up. Like,
okay, Preston, you sound good. They're gonna have to get They're gonna have to get a robot.
A man is not. I think a lot of women think that a man, while I believe in marriage, I gotta be honest with myself. I may never get married. So
you don't want to. You don't want to, Preston. You don't want to.
No, it's not that I don't want to.
You don't want to.
But
you ain't putting yourself out there.
That too. I'm not in the game. I said that earlier. You gotta be in the game to win. I haven't put myself in the game, but it doesn't mean that I don't necessarily want it. But if it don't happen for me, I'm not mad at the world. Like, I'm not even mad at myself. Like, I'm okay, because I'm not a woman that's like, like the man is the exit plan for me. Like, you know what I mean? There are women out there that like, I need that.
You're in a different position than a lot of women, though.
We the prize person.
You're in a different, maybe this is my theory, right? And I guess people know you have a daughter, right?
I do.
So here's the point. I think that the sense of urgency for you to get married is a whole lot less than a woman your age who doesn't have any kids. Because her biological clock has not been punched. Yours has. Yeah. There's a certain amount of peace with that.
Yeah.
I think this is just my theory. So if it's a woman who's getting to the 35, 40 years old, not married, no kids, and this is just a theory. At some point, the biological clock has to be thumbing in your head that you're skipping out on something God gave you, whether you wanted kids or not. And so you have to go into that time of your life with the knowledge that you may not only not have a husband, you may never have any children. And I think that does something to a woman, and it does something to their mindset, certainly. So I believe all women, no matter how they had their kids, whether it was ratchet, whether it was through a divorce, when they get to a certain age and they don't have a husband, there's still a certain amount of peace, because on those Christmas days, they could look at something that they a kid, somebody who's looking up at them, and whatever we call legacy is there. And with a woman without that, it causes some other kind of things. You know what I'm saying? I think so. I think that's just a theory.
Yeah,
that I think it's true.
I can definitely see, that being a concern for a woman. I still think that, I guess maybe because I was adopted, like kids still don't bring a certain joy that you're looking for. You have to love yourself. Like I can't.
Yeah, I understand that.
You know, you gotta love yourself. Kids no kids, husband no husband. All
That's
these
true.
friends no friend. Like you have to, because you have to be able to radiate with positivity, and not only positivity, just confidence. I wasn't looking for the word positivity. Confidence. There are a lot of women who are not confident if they don't have kids. They feel like they're not confident if they don't have a husband. I just don't live my life that way. Like I'm not insecure because I don't have a husband. I'm not insecure because I'm like someone hasn't put a ring on my finger yet. I'm okay, you know. But a lot of women, like you said, like it has to, like if they don't have kids, but they want to get married and they haven't had the kids yet, it may be a lingering thought for them.
I think
Again, there's no confidence in who you are as a person, or if you do believe in God and things of that nature, there's no confidence there either. Because
you can have confidence, but you know what? I hear where you're going. I'm not saying you're wrong, and it's not right or wrong here. It's just a mentality, because it's a big, broad conversation. She could be a confident woman. I'm just saying, I just think that there's like a void there that she'll have to deal with, and that void it'll manifest itself different for different women. Some women don't matter; they didn't want no kids, they didn't want no husband. They could live like that. They could be a Tracy Ellis Ross kind of mindset, even though I don't believe her. So even though I don't believe her, or Ebony K. Williams, who got to that point, and she realized she's never going to be nobody's wife, but she wanted a kid badly, but she had the money to pay for it. And a lot of women will never get to that position, Yeah. So, I mean, and the only reason why I know about these things, because they really express these things on social media.
Yeah.
You hear a lot of women who express these things, and I can see the perils of Lolo Jones, what she was trying to do. I don't think she ever got successful when she was trying to do.
Yeah.
She stayed a virgin well into her 30s. I believe her. So
I don't know. I wanted to go over it because it's
a good piece.
I'm tired of the blame game, right? Like, oh, it's the man's fault or it's the woman's fault. The person who is speaking really has to take a step back and say, okay, well, what part did I play?
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, where can I be accountable and just make better decisions as I go older? And why not as I get older? And why not let that be the message, right? Not, the state of dating Black men in 2026. Like, Black man gonna be a Black man, gonna be a Black man, gonna be a Black man. It ain't gonna change. The only thing that's gonna change is your decisions and how you make them. That's the only thing that you have control over. There are a lot of different tiers of Black men, right? So that's not going to change. And like we always talk about, a Black man is going to want you to get on his program. So at the end of the day, not that we don't have any control, but we can control if he's going to take it the next step with it. Like we don't control that. So the only thing that we can control is what we can control. And so if you're going to make decisions, make smart ones, and the smart ones that you don't make, just be accountable for them. Just stand in the result of your decision. And I just think that that's hard for a lot of women, right? It's hard to say I made a mistake. And that mistake, I may never get married, or I may never, progress to this stage in my life. Like some women just don't have.
It's a lot, Chris. Majority. I'll say majority.
Say that. Like
they won't say it.
You're not damaged goods. You're a person who is saying, look, I done some in my life, and it may result in this. And I have to face that as a human being, as a woman, as a mature individual. I have to be able to face those truths. But if you can't face those truths and you're saying, oh, well, the state of dating in 2026, the state of dating Black men in 2026, this is what me and my friends came up with. Did any of y'all say Well, I shouldn't have went back to him. That is my fault. I just kept going back. The D was so good that I just couldn't help myself. And now I feel like you know what I mean? Like, do those conversations ever come up? Like,
Nope.
those
Nope.
conversations that are ever
No, Precious. You know
on
they
the
don't.
shade room, or Insight, or with these blogs, is that what is put out there, or is it just like, child, don't date in 2026 because there's still pee in the pool? That's pretty much like kind of what it sounds like to me. And I think that as we mature and as we get older, you just really have to take accountability and make better decisions. But don't, like, we gotta stop blaming. Like, I don't want to come back to YouTube and have these conversations and be like, oh, it's the black man's fault. Oh no, it's the woman's fault because y'all, like, no, it's the individual's fault. What can you learn from your own actions?
Precious.
Where can you now take a pivot and be like, you know what? This happened in my life, but I could still, do my part.
Sister, you preaching to the choir. That message you just delivered is meant for everybody that was sitting at that group, that from old girl with that letter, right? And to me, and I'll say this because I'm listening to you, and I'm gonna say this like I said, it's our pain. Your voice is needed beyond it's needed before the adult age. Everything that you have, it would benefit the younger women 18 to 20, somewhere in between 17, 18, because one, you speak love yourself, respect yourself. Most of these people already know that they don't respect themselves and they don't love themselves, but they won't say it out loud. They'll blame. They'll give every reason why it wasn't their fault and never take any accountability. That's why I say that pre-adult woman, that before she gets out to the clubs and stuff, they're looking for great answers like you.
That's another reason why you guys haven't seen me, because I mentor young ladies.
Salute.
Now. That's another reason why you guys haven't
say that. I like to hear
that.
It
ain't always about a man. I'm helping the youth out here as well.
Salute to you, sister. If you need any materials, I got plenty of stuff. I got a whole stuff. I'm retired. I ain't looking to work. I ain't looking to make no money. But
yeah, I agree with you. The young, because oh my goodness, these young girls. There's, one of them, her birthday is literally the day before my daughter's birthday, and like, she's going through some things right now, and it's just like they need, the older women, they washed. I'm sorry, I told y'all before. I can't say nothing. I already told y'all this. I said it on the Peep Network. The sisterhood. There really is no sisterhood. There really is seeing where there is an issue and knowing where you're most impactful.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, this YouTube, I do it because I'm just service oriented, right? I love to be of service. So I'm going to do my Happy Foster. I'm going to do these panels with the guys because I think that having this type of conversation is beneficial for those who would like to hear, for those who want to, be a part of the conversation. But trying to change a grown woman's mind,
no,
that's not my ministry. Now I can go down in Camden and mentor the young ladies because they are currently going through the things and the mindsets where this decision making and this psychology
is important.
Has to make sense now, right? Yeah. It has to make sense for them now, or they will be in the cycle, the ever-ending cycle of blaming somebody else. It's like, no, you have to be accountable now. You can't talk to your mom right now. Okay, well let's do a mediator type of situation so we can get the communication together, because we don't need your mom calling you out your name, and we don't need you calling your mom, because that's how that cycle of blaming others starts. Right. That's exactly where that starts. So yeah, I picked the lane, and that's where I'll be.
Salute to you, man. Salute to you, sister.
That is what I will be. Well, I was trying to find there were 2 people who have donated to the platform. So I appreciate y'all. I'm trying to see if my little graphic is going to come up because I appreciate you don't have to, but you did, and I appreciate you. So I'm gonna
Just on the scene with the lean and a pocket full of green. The green is a symbolizer, made it on the top, but RoboCop last year was a shot. The tone of the Popeye cut shook your butt. Kids are screaming, the media says what? Hand up music is this for you to dance to. The man with the plan and the band demands you. Leave the smack and the crack, throw the whack, throw the ball and the knock with a smile like that. Leave the knife and the gun.
All right. Thank y'all so much for donating to the platform. I appreciate you. You don't have to, but you do. Okay. That might be a little, I'm into matcha now, y'all. I'm into, I a little bit of a health scare, and I'm like, all right, I gotta, do it a little bit, healthier than I have been. And I always looked at the drink and I was like, how are people drinking that? Then I took a sip one day and I was like, oh, this is lovely. So thank you for contributing to my matcha fun. But I appreciate you guys. We will be back next. I can't do any of those moves. I appreciate you guys. We will be back. Of course, like I said, you guys are welcome to join the panel. I appreciate you, Coach Ferg, Arpane. Y'all been down since day one. I appreciate you so much. Definitely join us next week. And I apologize to you guys too. I sent you the link super late. I sent you the notification that about the live late. So forgive me because I like to usually prepare you guys and have you guys ready to go live. So
yeah, no problem.
But I'll do a better job of that in the future. I had to. It was a long, no excuses, but it definitely was one of those days.
Salute to you. Glad you came back.
Glad to be back. Glad to have us back. We like talking to you.
Thank you for being back. And of course, you guys watching, thank you so much for watching. Those who aren't here, those who are part of the replay crew, all of you, thank you for your support here on the Real Precious Network. I'm calling it a network now because I think I might want to add one more show, but that might be after May, after my schedule clears up a little more. And we get the logistics down on that show. But thank you guys so much. Definitely hit the like button, subscribe, hit that bell notification so you know when we are going live here on YouTube. But yeah, I appreciate you guys. Great show. Have a good evening. Until next time. Bye. You guys have a great evening.
Yep, you too.
It's Thursday. Is it Thursday? About 9 minutes is gonna be Thursday. All right. Have a great Thursday. Have a great weekend.
Great to bed.
Be real with yourself so you can be real with others. See y'all.
Salute.